Hello, everyone. Alchemist here. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Um, this is another live session, and I want you guys to confirm to me, please, that you can hear me properly, that you can hear the audio properly, that there's no problem with the image, with the audio, just so I can move on. So, hello to all the people who are just joining this live session. I appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you very much for confirming, Adrian and Manju Chavan. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me, that everything is great. Today is another live session, and I'm going to be available to answer your questions. It's going to be a Q&A, and I'm also going to address karma and what's the truth about karma, karmic ties, cutting karmic ties and breaking karmic cycles, and also answer your question, hopefully, if you have any questions about this subject or about any other occult subject. Donations are welcome as well if you guys feel like you want to support. And I'm going to say hi to some of you who already wrote some questions in the comments in the chat section. Hello, uh, hello, Hybrid. Hello, Dragon. Hello to all of you who just entered. Hello, Raja Lakshmi, Sushu, Cindy, Adrian, Manju, Giovina, Neha. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And thank you to all of the new people who are just going to tune in. So, today we're going to talk about karma. And karma is an important subject. I'm going to first talk about it a little bit and then we can discuss it and then I'll answer your questions. So, karma is an important subject that a lot of people overlook in this spiritual path, in this, or just in the spiritual community in general. Karma is Sanskrit word for action. So the Hindus know the concept of karma very, very well. But I think in the West, people still understand it or misunderstand the concept of karma as, well, whatever you do comes back to you. Your actions is basically you reap what you sow. Your actions are going to have consequences, they're going to have results. And the results you're just going to have to reap, either good or bad. So, whatever you do, the results are going to be there. You do something good, you're going to find good results. You do something bad, you're going to find bad results or bad consequences. But karma goes beyond this, because if karma was just about the action and the actions that you're going to do and the results that you're going to reap, then you can somewhat have a control over it. But the problem with karma is that it's much more complicated than this, and it's much more deeper. The reason why is because of two things. The first thing is that it can expand beyond reincarnations, beyond many lifetimes. So your karma can go back to many, many lifetimes before. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is your karma, when you do the action, it's all about the timing. The timing of when the consequence or the result is going to be there. So these are two things that render karma way more complicated than what it is. It's not about, I'm going to do something good and then I'll get it right away. Because if that was the case, then the world will be great. You do something good and it comes back to you right away. So everyone is happy. People keep doing good things all the time and they keep seeing the good results all the time. But karma doesn't work like that. You can do something good and you might not see the results of that good thing until years later. Now, that's when it becomes problematic. And maybe the word problematic is not the right word to use here, but that's why people don't believe in karma. And a lot of people think it's a hoax or think it's wrong or think it's just a concept that doesn't make any sense. Because a lot of people say, well, how come bad people are getting away with the things they do on earth? Like we have the people who rule, the elites, or even in ancient past with the kings and the emperors that have lived and waged wars and killed um, millions of people. And we see this happening even nowadays in this day and age. It's still happening as we speak. So a lot of people will ask, how come the people who cause a lot of harm and a lot of bad things, how come they're running, they're getting away with what they're doing? The reason why is because karma has its own proper timing when it hits back. So for those people, you might not see that they're gonna get what they deserve right away, because maybe what they're gonna get, the consequences of their bad actions from, let's say, waging wars, is gonna come to them in their next life and not even in this lifetime. So that's what makes karma hard to understand for a lot of people. Maybe you have a ruler and he caused the killing and the suffering and the, let's say, the genocide of millions of people. That ruler or that person responsible for that, maybe he won't see his karma, or he's not going to pay back what he did until his next lifetime, not even in this lifetime. And that's why it looks like he's getting away with what he's doing, or she's getting away with what she's doing. And that's why a lot of people give up on believing in karma and they say, it's no, I don't believe in this, because how come most people are just getting away with the bad things that they do? And that's why a lot of people so I need you to open up your mind with me here in order to understand this concept quite well. A lot of people, they have a hard life. See, in Buddhism, they explain this very well, and the Buddha have talked about this. Because a lot of followers of the Buddha asked, how come some people, they're amazing, they're loving, they're genuine, they're pure, and they work even hard, and they help a lot of people, yet they have a very hard life? And how come other people, they are not good people, they're not helping, they're not loving, they're not kind, yet they have an amazing life? And the Buddha's answer to that was karma. That has to do with their past lives. See, the people who are living amazing lives and they are enjoying, let's say, wealth, they're enjoying an amazing life full of wealth, they're enjoying good looks, they're very good looking, they're very attractive, they're enjoying good health. And you see these people, they do exist, they're rare. Sometimes you see a person who's very attractive, and you even start wondering, how come, how come this person can be so attractive without plastic surgery, without anything external, just genetically speaking, they're just extremely beautiful. And you know what's even funnier is that in the same family, the sibling of that person, let's say the super attractive person, their siblings, even the brother or the sister, they're not even as attractive as them. It's just that one person that's super, super attractive. You can get your eyes off them. That's karma, because karma can be paid back to you with looks, with attractiveness. It can be paid back to you with riches, with wealth. It can be paid back to you with health. You find people who are sometimes extremely healthy. They don't get sick, they never get diseases, they don't get ailments, and sometimes they live long lives until they're 80 or even 90 years old without getting a disease or an ailment. That's good karma. So karma can come back to you in different shapes and forms. If you hit the jackpot, if you get really, really good karma, meaning that in your past life or past lives, because sometimes the Buddha said that your good karma won't be paid back until, or bad karma as well, either good or bad, won't be paid back until lifetimes later, until let's say you do something great. And in order to reap that, you have to wait 2 lifetimes before you can reap your deeds. So you have to do good deeds in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, and in the third lifetime, then you reap the rewards of what you've been doing. And the same thing works for bad karma, for the bad things you've been doing. So for the people who hit the jackpot and they've been doing amazing deeds for many lifetimes prior, in this lifetime, maybe they get amazing looks, they're super attractive, they're wealthy, they're super rich, and they're even like a celebrity or something. And then they are healthy, so they get everything. And these people, they do exist and they're rare. And you wonder, how come? How come these people have everything? It's because of their karma that they've been accumulating for many lifetimes. And the same thing happens with bad people sometimes. And here I need you to open up your mind, because a lot of people complain about this. They complain about, how come my life sucks? How come I don't have good luck? How come no matter how hard I try, I don't get good things in my life? I don't get good people. I'm always broke, no matter how hard I try. I'm not talking about the people who are lazy, who do nothing. I'm talking about people who actually try, they work hard, they do their best, and they don't see the results. They never see the results. The Buddha's answer to that was karma. Karma, the same way. And I need you to open up your mind with me here, because a lot of humans go through this and they think it's because they're bad, or because the other people are better than them, or because they don't deserve the wealth or the riches. No, it's the karma. There's a high chance that in your previous lives you've done some things that were not good. They were not good. You caused harm to other people. Maybe you caused suffering to other people. Maybe you killed or murdered other people. Maybe you enslaved other people. It could be anything. And it's not only for people, it's for animals. Maybe you harmed some animals. Maybe you tortured some animals. Maybe you destroyed Earth. It has to do with Earth as well. Maybe you enjoyed cutting trees, or you had a business that involved cutting trees and you cut thousands of trees in one lifetime. That's also bad karma. So in your next lifetime, and usually these kind of karmas that are serious, they manifest in the next lifetimes. So in your next lifetime, you're gonna get a not easy life, a not smooth life, a life that has suffering. It has a lot of struggle. It has a lot of challenges, and I hate to break it to you, it's probably for a lot of people, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's gonna last the whole lifetime, because it's equal to the one lifetime you spent causing suffering or trouble or bad things to other people. So now you get to experience what it is like to feel that. See, that's what I try to always teach in this channel. No matter what you do, the bad things or the good things, you're gonna feel them as well. You torture someone, you're gonna feel that torture at some point. If it's not in this lifetime, next lifetime. You cause harm to someone, you're gonna feel that harm. You broke someone's heart, you're gonna feel that. You cheated on someone, oh, it goes for cheating as well. You're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel what it's like to be cheated on. Everything you do, good or bad, you're gonna feel it. So, whatever you do, so if you become aware of this, that whatever you do, every word you say, every action you do is gonna come back to you at some point. Next month, 2 years later, 10 years later, or in your next lifetime. If you become aware of that, then you're going to really, really think twice and even thrice before you do an action. You're going to think very, 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 you're going to process the idea in your mind before you do it, before you realize or before you understand what your action, the consequences of your actions, or the um, the what the effect of your actions. What are the effects? If you do one action, what is that action gonna cause to your loved ones, to your partner, to your kids, to your pets, to the animals, to earth, to the people around you? What is it? What is it? How are you talking to people when you go to order something? Do you order with harsh words, or do you order with nice and kind words? If you order with harsh words, it's going to come back to you. People are going to use harsh words towards you, because you're going to ask me, Seth, well, how, but what, wait a second, who controls this? Are there deities? Are there gods? So what is this karma thing? This, how come whatever I put out there comes back in any shape or form? So who governs this? The answer to this, the governor of this, is the universe. It's the primordial force of existence. And that's the beauty about it. Because even I had the wrong idea back in my early journey. I thought it was gods or deities who controlled this, until I learned that even the gods cannot escape karma. Yes, the powerful gods that have magical abilities, and many of you even work with or even some worship, karma applies to them as well, because it's energetic, it's based on energy. So it's something that no one can control. It's just the life force of existence that controls the energy. So whatever energy you push out there, it's going to come back to you. That's how it works. There's no God governing it. There's no angels governing it like how religious people believe. There's no demons governing it. It's just something energetic that the universe controls, and the gods cannot escape it. And no matter how many powers you have, you could be like the most powerful mage or wizard or witch out there, and you could have the craziest, unbelievable gifts out there. You can fly, you can teleport, you can turn lead into gold, you can transmute some object into another, you can transform things, you can shapeshift. It doesn't matter how many powers you have, the karma, your karma that's based on your actions, is going to come back to you in the same way you applied it, even if you're a deity. Even if you're a deity. So that's the beauty of karma. No one is going to run away from it. No one is going to run away from karma. It doesn't matter how many powers you have. And the reason why I wanted to share this with you, my dear gifted souls, is because I myself, I'm starting to become aware of this the past couple of years more and more and more. And I'm realizing it is the foundation of everything. Before, I didn't really pay attention to this concept. I, of course, we all know karma. Everyone knows it. It has become an English word. You can find it in the English dictionary. Everyone plays around with the word, but no one really understands the repercussions of karma, and that it extends beyond lifetimes. So if you're causing pain to someone, if you're cheating in your partner, maybe in your next lifetime, you're gonna know what it's like for a partner to cheat on you, and your life will be destroyed because of it. But in this lifetime, you're gonna get away with it. I'm just giving you examples, because there's a lot of people who get away with things, and it works for everything. If you commit a murder in your past life, in this lifetime, you're gonna lose your life by someone murdering you. So, like, you might ask, well, so Seth, are you saying that all the things that happen in life that we see, the people who get murdered randomly or the people who gets so that's all based on karma? Like if someone get hit by a car accident and they die? Well, brace yourselves because the answer is yes. And that's the hard truth that one have uh, a hard time to wrap their head around. And it took me many years to understand this. And in the beginning, I refused to believe it, and um, um, I wasn't even believing in this idea because I thought it can be, it's too much. All the innocent people that lose their lives, or all the innocent people that, let's say, they die randomly, or they get they get attacked, or they get abused, or and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. I used to doubt that, but then doubting that is doubting the universe. So if you doubt the universe, how can you say you believe in the universe? If you doubt the universe, how can you believe that the universe is fair and just? If you doubt the universe, then you would believe in karma 100% because the universe is just and it's going to give everyone everything they did. And yes, and this is going to be hard to hear for a lot of people, even the people who got really, really uh, things that are unimaginable, unbelievable in their lives. They got tortured, they got abused, they got raped, and so on and so forth. And they got really, really bad things, atrocious things. The universe is just. The universe is not going to allow something to happen unless it is supposed to happen for a certain reason. And for the people who have had something really tough going on in their life and they have to go through it, I want to bring to your awareness, maybe this is going to help, that it's probably because of something that happened in your past life that you did that was not good. And now you get to experience what it is like to have that. Because the universe is not gonna make you go through suffering or torture just like that. It's not gonna make you have an accident that will destroy your life just like that. The universe won't do that to you. Why would the universe do that to you? But it will do that to you so you can feel and experience something similar you caused before. It's just with reincarnation, you don't remember what you've done before. Because imagine if you remember every past life you've had. Can you even take it? Can you even stand on your feet? We go through one lifetime and we can't even fathom the amount of experiences we gather in one lifetime. The amount of good things we do, the amount of bad things we do, the amount of harm we've caused to other people, the amount of harm that other people have caused us, just one lifetime. And it's hard for us to fathom it. It's hard for us to wrap our heads around it. Can you imagine 100 lifetimes? You can't take it. Your heart is going to stop. And that's why when we are born, we don't remember anything. So we can actually live. Because if we're born and we remember every lifetime we've had with every single experience, we can't take it. Unless, unless you become enlightened, just like the Buddha. When you become enlightened, when you reach that level, and very few people reach that level, almost no one reaches that level. I hate to break it to you. Nowadays, almost no one is going to reach that level. When you reach that level, you remember every single past life you've had in all of your existence since your soul was there. You remember everything, yet it doesn't affect you because you're not attached. And one of the few people who have reached that level is the Buddha himself, Siddhartha Gautama, because you're not attached to your past experiences, you're not attached to the bad things you've done, you're not attached to the good things you've done, you're not attached to anything. And you reach a level of awareness that makes you remember every past life you've had. But you only get there once you pay back all of your karma, by the way. You can't get to that level unless all of your karmic debt is paid. See, my my dear friends, my friends, even what I'm doing with you right here is karma. See this live? It's me creating karma with you guys. You watching this is karma. Karma is it's the interactions. It's what you say. It's what you create. It's what you put out there. So if I say something, let's say I say something bad or I insult someone in this live, it's karma. And then I have to pay it back. How do I pay it back? Someone is gonna insult me the same way at some point. Maybe not today, not tomorrow, but maybe next year. And I won't even remember that I did it in this live. But next year, someone is gonna insult me the exact same way, and I'm gonna feel how it feels like, because the universe is just and it's watching all the time. So whatever you do is gonna be done to you. And that's why the Buddha, before his enlightenment, he had to meditate under the Bodhi tree for 49 days, because he had to cut all connections with anything and everyone, not even food, nothing, because he wanted to cut every thread he had, every karmic thread he had with anything. And that's hard to do. It's hard to sit down and just be and cut every karmic ties you have with everything in existence. It's hard because everything you do is karma. You're a living karmic bowl. Every step of the way, every word you say, you're always rolling. And so that's why I want to talk about this. That's why I want to bring your attention to it, because it is really, really challenging. Because everything you do is going to be part of your karmic attributes. So at least might as well gather some good karma. And for those of you who are having a tough life and you work so hard and you still don't see results, no, it's because you're paying back some bad karma from before. And until you pay back that karma, until you pay back, it could be, for some, it's just 1 year. For others, it's 10 years. For others, it's one whole reincarnations. For others, it's 3 reincarnations. And in Buddhism, you find many sutras telling stories of some people who had to pay back bad karma they've done for the next 3 lifetimes. 3 lifetimes of repaying bad karma, of living lives in complete suffering, poverty, and just struggling for 3 lifetimes. Why? Because of something really bad they have done before. For the people who commit even worse things, they might even end up in the lower realms. You might not even reincarnate as a human being. You might end up in really bad realms that I'm not even going to talk about them because they're very scary. They're much worse than Earth. They're much worse than being around humans. So for some people, they reincarnate there, and that's where they pay back their karma. For some, they reincarnate as humans, but they live years and years, if not the whole lifetime of suffering, struggles, poverty. For some people, it's only a few years, and that's why you see it with a lot of humans who they are, for example, poor for many, many years until their 30s or 40s, and all of a sudden they become rich. It's because up until their 30s or 40s, they paid back the bad karma. So once you pay back your bad karma, your karma is at zero. So during those 30 or 40 years of their lives, if they accumulated good karma, so they're paying back their bad karma, they're paying it through struggle and poverty for 40 years, let's say. But if they do good deeds at the same time, even though they're struggling, even though they're poor, they're still doing good deeds. After they pay back their 40 years of bad karma, the universe is going to check what's on your account, what's on your karmic bank account. Do you have good deeds in there? If you have good deeds, you're going to start reaping them after those 40 years. And you're going to start reaping good things, and your life is going to get better. You're going to become rich, abundant, and then you're going to enjoy a good life and you're not going to suffer from poverty anymore. If the universe checks your karmic bank account and see that you didn't do any good deeds those 40 years, you only paid back your bad karma, but you weren't helpful, you weren't loving, you weren't kind, you didn't do good deeds in your life, you didn't help animals, then your karmic level is going to be at 0. So you're just going to have an average life. You're not going to be poor anymore, but you're not going to become rich. You're just going to still have like an average life. And the opposite can happen. And this happens to a lot of people. You have to pay back that bad karma for the first 40 years. But then during those 40 years, you struggle and you live in poverty, but you do bad deeds and you harm other people, you cheat on other people, you steal money because you're poor, and so on and so forth. What happens is after you pay back those 40 years of bad karma, the universe checks your karmic bank account and it finds out that you accumulated more bad karma and you have to pay it again. So remember, my friends, you have a karmic bank account and the universe is always checking what's in it. Is it good karma? Is it bad karma? Both of them you have to pay. Bad karma, you have to pay it. Good karma, it's going to come to you with good things and with abundance and with a lot of pleasurable things in life. And I'm going to give you another example for, because the first example I just mentioned was for someone who had bad karma and they had to repay it for the span of 40 years. Another example is a rich person. They're blessed with looks. They're super attractive. They're very, very beautiful or handsome, and they are very rich. They're healthy, and let's say the universe checked their karmic bank account. They found out that in their past life or their past 2 or 3 lifetimes, they've been doing amazing things. So in this lifetime, they are going to be rewarded with, let's say, 60 years of incredible life, but it's only 60 years. Your karmic bank account allows 60 years of wealth, good looks, health, being even a celebrity, traveling the world, having anything you desire, but only 60 years. Okay? So you go through that, you enjoy your life, you think you're the king or the queen, you think you're even a god or a goddess, which what happens to a lot of people, and you think you're immortal because you're rich, you're wealthy, you're healthy, you're good looking, you're attractive, and you enjoy your decade after decade after decade, and you think you're invincible. But according to karmic law, you only have 60 years. That's it. After the 60 years, the universe is going to check your karmic bank account. What did you accumulate during those 60 years? Did you use that wealth and that abundance to accumulate good karma again and to help people and to build shelters and to help animals, help the environment? Did you do that, or did you cause the opposite? Did you cause harm to people? Did you screw people over? Did you steal from people? Did you cheat on your loved ones? So after 60 years that was allocated to you from the universe, after, let's say you get to 60 and it's your birthday. Now you're 60 years old. Universe is going to check your karmic bank account. What have you accumulated there? And for a lot of people, they accumulate bad things. During those 60 years, they accumulate really, really bad karma. So what happens at that point? Overnight, because the universe is just. If it tells you 60 years, it's 60 years, no more, no less. So if you accumulate bad karma, after 60 years, overnight, you lose everything. Everything. You lose it. And you start paying back the bad karma you have caused during those 60 years. My dear gifted souls, that's how it works. And I just give you examples for one lifetime. But it gets complicated when it goes over many lifetimes. It gets really complicated. Let's say someone who did so many bad things in one lifetime, and then when the universe checked their karmic bank accounts, they found out that they need to pay back that karma in 3 lifetimes of being a human being who's broke, poor, and struggling with health. 3 lifetimes. And that's why some people, no matter how hard they try, they never get there. And that's why I don't want you to be fooled by the rich, wealthy people who are flooding the internet, flooding social media, and they tell you, I worked hard and I'm a billionaire. You see, if you connect to the universe and meditate every day, you can manifest all the abundance you need. See, because I meditated like this, and I did some scientific experiments, and I called all of the researchers of the world, and I did my science, connected it with my yoga and with my meditation. I manifested millions of dollars, and you can do the same. I don't want you to be fooled by these people. Don't be fooled by these people. They're rich, they're extremely wealthy, they have all of the good things they have because they accumulated good karma from their past lives. And they're reaping that in this lifetime. So don't be fooled. There are people out there who will work much harder than these rich people. And they're kinder, and they're loving, and they're very, very helpful. And they try to be, they're what people sometimes label as angels. Yet, nothing pans out in their lives. Nothing. Because of karma. They have some karma that they need to pay back, and until they pay it back in full, nothing is going to pan out in their lives. When you become aware of this, you become peaceful with who you are. You don't hate others. You're not jealous anymore. If someone is doing well, you wish happiness for them. If someone is not doing well, even though they're trying hard, you wish them good, you let them live their life because they have to pay back their karma. And I used to wonder about this in the beginning of of this journey as well, when I started this self alchemist journey, especially with the like putting the readings on YouTube. And I'm speaking from experience, my dear friends. I started this YouTube channel in 2021. I was working on the channel in 2020. The channel went public 2021, started posting my videos. And the growth was horrible, okay? It was horrible. Barely anyone watched the videos. Barely anything was happening. And I was posting consistently every day, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. And I was doing my best to just share my knowledge, even though a lot of things have changed, because nothing stays the same. It's also one of the things that the Buddha said. There is nothing that stays exactly the same in this existence. Everything changes all the time, all the time. And the way I used to speak in my early videos, if you go and check them from 5 years ago, the way I used to speak, the way I used to carry myself is very different from now. I used to be a little bit intense. I worked on myself to get to this level. And you can see the difference if you check an older video of how I present the information, how I talk with now. Even in my readings were different back then, and they're different right now. And it's because I was in the process of transmuting who I am into my greatest version, and I'm still doing it. But in the beginning, my videos were not working. And compared to now, they were not working. Didn't get any views and they didn't get anything. But that's not the problem. I thought that I was aware that there was a chance that my YouTube channel was never gonna work. Because as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, prior to Self Alchemist, I had like 6 other channels that I was experimenting with from 2015, 16, all the way to 2020. I had many other channels that I was experimenting with in different fields. And some of them worked, some of them didn't work. So I was studying YouTube since 2014, 2015, very well. So I kind of I'm pretty accustomed to this. So when I started Self Alchemist in 2020, 2021, I knew that there's a chance that this is not going to work, but that was not the problem. Here's the problem. After doing Self Alchemist for a couple years, 2 years, it still was not doing well. It was still horrible. No views, nothing's going on, like just nothing is happening. And then the universe would show me on my feed, on my YouTube feed, other channels of people who are in this field, either doing the occult or doing tarot readings. And in these channels, they only started, let's say, 6 months ago or 1 year ago, way after me. And these people, they look very young. They look like they're 20 years younger than me. And they just start, let's say, a year ago or 6 months ago. And to be honest with you, because I don't want to bash on anyone who's trying something, congratulations to them. They're amazing. But I see their readings and I can clearly see that they don't have a lot of knowledge. Or I see their information and I'm like, okay, but it's okay because they're young and they're still learning. It's okay if they don't have a lot of knowledge. It's okay because it's not about knowledge all the time. Yet, they have hundreds of thousands of views and their channel is already at like 100,000 subscribers and their videos get so many views and they only post once a week. And back then I was going crazy trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And I started doubting myself in the beginning. I'm like, maybe I'm a bad reader. Maybe I don't know how to read properly tarot. Maybe the way I portray the information is bad. Maybe I suck as an occultist. Maybe I'm not good. I was going crazy trying to figure out how come some people come out of nowhere and they just explode with so in YouTube that's being successful in a way. Maybe in other fields it's different. The terms of success are different in other fields, but in YouTube, that's called being successful. Yet I find out that here I am doing this for 3 years, even at 4 years, and my channel has over 1,300 videos. 1,300 videos. You can go check it out for yourself if you think I'm lying. 1,300 videos, a combination of long formats and short formats. 1,300 videos. Yet these other channels, they only have like 50 or 70 videos. They have way more subscribers, way more views. And I'm like, what am I what is wrong? What is wrong? And now I understand that it is karma. It's karma. When people just get something so easily, without even trying hard for it, it's because they have incredible karma and it's being paid back to them that way. Does that mean that I don't have such a good karma? Maybe I don't. And I probably don't from the past lives. And every time I believe that I don't, actually. I never believed that I had an amazing karma from my past lives. I never believed that. Never. You can even ask the close friends to me who we talk about this sometimes, and that's always my opinion. And they disagree with me, and I'm like, no, I don't think I've had good karma in my past lives. And although it's uncertain, karma is still uncertain because you can't really know what you've done in your past life. You can't really know what has happened to you before. But you can see it through how your life is. You want to know if you have good karma. You want to know if you've done something good in your past life and you're reaping it right now. Well, the chances are that you're living a good life. It's smooth, it's comfortable, you're not struggling financially, you're healthy, you don't have health problems, you're not in poverty, things around you are peaceful, they're good. You're surrounded by loving people who love you and you love them back. Life is going easily and you're at peace. You don't hate people for their success. You're not jealous of others. You do you. And when something good happens to others, you're always happy for them. If you have these that I just mentioned, it means that you have an amazing karma and then you're reaping it right now. You're blessed with an amazing body, with good looks, you're very attractive, you have good health. These are all signs. And I did not say this, it's the Buddha himself who said this 2,500 years ago. It's the Buddha who said this. And the Hindus, they know this as well because this is in Hinduism, this is also part of their tradition. They know these things very, very well. So the thing is, if you're struggling with life, meaning that you probably had a bad karma before, if you're struggling with life, what you can do is try to do good deeds in order to rectify and accumulate good karma. So once you finish paying back the bad karma, at least you'll have something good awaiting you. Even though if you're struggling every day, even though if you're broke all the time, even if you're going through poverty, even if you have a dysfunctional family and you don't have love around you, try to always do good deeds whenever you can, even though it's hard. And the chances is that you're probably paying back some bad karma from the past. When I say the past, I mean a past life. And that's why you're wondering why you have this kind of life in this current reincarnation, because you don't remember your past life. So karma is really complicated. It's not easy. And it has its own timing. And there's always a karmic bank account that you need to check. Well, you don't need to check it. The universe is always checking it. Is it full of good things or full of bad things? And whatever you have there, you're gonna reap it. Full of bad things, you're gonna get that. Full of good things, you're gonna get that. So I hope this helped you understand karma and how people are karmically tied, and also how to break these karmic cycles. And karma goes for people as well. If, for example, I mean, excuse me, I mean to talk about karmic ties. If you have a relationship that is full of fights, arguments, trouble, you never agree on anything, you're always in ups and downs, you're in a tiring relationship with your partner, that's a karmic relationship that had to be repaid because in your past life, you did that to someone. Or you were with that same person and you guys didn't resolve it. Either you treated another partner in a past life in that way, and now you're being treated that way, or you two were a couple in your past life and you never resolved your problems. And some couples, they succeed in resolving that in one lifetime, they succeed. Some other couples, they don't succeed. And if they don't succeed, they're going to have to come back and meet each other and resolve that again. Or meet different partners with the same frequencies and resolve that with these other partners who have the same frequencies. And if you're having an amazing relationship and you're always in love with each other, you're always agreeing on things, you don't fight, you don't go against each other, you treat each other with so much respect and love and kindness, and you're each other's other half, like literally speaking, that means that you guys have had an amazing past life, either together or separately, and now you're reunited. And there's even a chance, if you keep going on like this, to meet in the next lifetime, either on earth or in the heavens or wherever you reincarnate. You're going to be together again and you're going to be living a happy life. Okay, so that goes for people as well. Okay? So that's why cheating is very bad. This thing that's happening in the world right now, and it's becoming worse and worse compared to even to to my generation or the generations before, of like people just taking relationships as something that's futile. You sleep here, you sleep there, you sleep with anyone and everyone. You say you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and the next day you cheat on them. People even do it with their wives and husbands, and they start cheating around left and right, and they think it's okay. They think sex has become, the sexual pleasure has become something just completely normal, and people think that it's just like something you do on the regular. You sleep here today, you sleep with someone today, you sleep with another one tomorrow. You guys are not ready for the karmic retributions for that. You guys are not ready for it. For those of you who do that, you have no idea for the karmic retributions of cheating, sleeping around, and causing harm to the people that you love by cheating on them. You think it's a simple thing because you don't see the consequences. You're like, I'm going to sleep with this person even though I have a partner. I'm going to sleep with them and it's okay. It's just sex, right? That's what most of the youth think nowadays. And that's why you find a lot of people struggling in life and they keep wondering why they're struggling all the time. You don't know what you've done in the past, you don't remember it. Or someone who used to cheat a lot, and when they get married, they have a horrible life. In their marriage, life is catastrophic. But they forget that they were cheaters prior to the marriage. They forgot that. They completely forgot that. They wonder why the marriage is so dysfunctional and it's full of problems. Karma. Sometimes karma skips you and hits your kids. If it's too bad, if it's something very, very bad, it skips you and it goes to your kids. Your karma goes to your kids. But then the universe is just. The universe is not going to harm your kids just like that. It's because those kids, they have to also pay back a bad karma from their past lives. So you're being punished for your own karma, and the kid simultaneously is punished for their previous karma from a past life. Because the universe is always just. And there's nothing that makes you suffer more than seeing your own kids being hurt and you not being able to do anything about it. Like with diseases, with ailments, with anything, there's nothing that hurts more. So the universe, if you do something so bad, instead of even that coming to you, the universe makes the people that you love the most go through that, and you see them and you feel that pain more than ever. Why? Because that's the pain you caused someone before and you weren't aware of it. That pain you're feeling is what you have caused to someone else. And you thought it was okay. You didn't even care about it. You're like, nah. Well, now it's time to taste that pain. The universe is just, always just, always. Okay? So I hope this kind of helps you understand karma a little bit. Again, not everyone believes in karma. Not everyone believes in this concept. Some people think that you just come here to live one lifetime, you do whatever the heck you want, and you leave. But for those of you who believe in this concept, please be aware of it because it applies to every single action you do in your life. So I'm gonna read some of your chat, some comments, maybe some questions if you guys have some. Thank you to all of you who joined. I appreciate it. And let's see here. Okay, let's see. So thank you to all the people who joined as I was talking to Diane, to Kat, to Moonchild. Hello. Kobe Jai said first live. Welcome, welcome to the live. I appreciate you being present. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is your first live. Um, Let's see. Let's see if there is any questions or comments. Knight of Passion said, "Can someone steal my good karma?" So karma cannot be stolen. It's not something that it can be given, but it cannot be stolen. No one can steal your good karma. If you do good karma, it's part of your karmic bank account, as I have mentioned. It's yours. The universe is always watching it, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. But you can give your good karma willingly if you want to. You can, if a soul is suffering in the lower realms, and you want to save them and you want to help them get out of those lower realms so they're not suffering, so they're not being punished, you can declare to the universe that you want to pass on your good karma to them, or you can pass on your good karma to your friend who needs help, or to your family member who have an illness and they're suffering, or to your pet who's struggling with some kind of problem with their health. And I do this myself. I do it, and let me tell you that it actually works. You can declare, you can even do a ritual or just declare it that you want to give your good karma to someone you love so much so they don't struggle anymore, or so they can get out of the the whatever they're going through, the challenges they're going through, the problems they're going through. Or sometimes it's a soul that's stuck in between the realms and they don't know how to pass on after their death. So you can give your good karma to help them. The universe is going to translate that karma, is going to transfer it to them, and it's going to help them get out of that purgatory or that in between so they can move on into the next level of their existence. And this happens with the story of Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva. It's a sutra in Buddhism, in Mahayana Buddhism, and this is a saint, and she was a girl who was um, had amazing karma, had amazing good deeds. She was loving, kind, helpful, but her mother was the complete opposite. She was an evil person and she did a lot of bad deeds, so she ended up going to hell, to the fires of the underworld in her next reincarnation. So the girl, she sensed that her mother is there and prayed and prayed and prayed to salvage her mother from the hells, from the fires of hell. And she even gave her good karma. She passed it on to her mother so that her mother can be salvaged from hell. And her karma helped her get out of hell. And her mother, instead of spending many reincarnations in hell, being burned and being suffering there, she right away reincarnated as a human being. She was given another chance, but not a good life, not a lavish life. Just as a human, she was reincarnated as a human being, and she had to live another life again as a human, and trying to reap good deeds. So if you read the sutra or the story of Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva, it's one of my favorite sutras, and I love it so much. So yes, you can pass on your good karma to the people who are suffering, to the people who are struggling, to the people who have bad deeds and they can't get out of their conundrums. You can pass on your good karma to them. And that's going to give you good karma as well, because you're doing good good deeds by passing on your good karma. That's good karma itself. So you're basically, it's a win-win. You're giving them your good karma, but you're also gaining good karma from that. But you have to do it from the heart all the time, always. Otherwise, your good karma doesn't count if it doesn't come from the goodness of your heart. So good question, but your karma can never be stolen. No one can touch your karma, the good or the bad. Um, hello, Leah. Hello, hello, Alberto. To all of you who joined, Ozzy Chris, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it. Kurt Miller said, nobody's innocent. We're all guilty of something. I mean, in a way, it's true. It's true because life, life is very complex. It's hard to not be guilty of anything at all. Like even by being alive, we're destroying Earth. You're walking and you're stepping on insects and ants all the time without even realizing it. But then again, that's the difference. Um, Karma doesn't count if it's doesn't have intention attached to it. So, for example, if you step on an ant without knowing that the ant was there, that doesn't count as bad karma for you. But if you do it willingly and you see the ant and you go and step on it, you intend to step on it and then you step on it, that's bad karma. And you're going to feel like what it is like to be stepped on. And it's serious. You think it's because you do it to an ant, it doesn't count. Because the ant is very tiny, right? You think it doesn't count, but it counts. So we all have done, we're all guilty. We come here, we make mistakes. A lot of people do things when they're not aware and then they change. And I'm speaking for myself. I've done a lot of stupid things when I was young, a lot, a lot. And I caused harm to a lot of people. And I admit it. I'm not a saint. There is no need to hide these things. I have caused harm to a lot of people. And I was young and foolish and stupid. And being aware of these things, and many times I know why certain bad things happen to me afterwards, and I'm like, oh, it's because I caused harm to that person. And then usually it comes years later and I connect the dots and I'm like, I see why that experience happened to me. It's because I caused a similar experience to someone else 2 years prior. If you want to scan your life like that, sit down with yourself and start scanning every bad thing that happened in your life, like very bad things that have happened to you. You're gonna find out that for some of these things, for some of them, you can pinpoint something you've done before to someone else, and the universe gave it back to you. If you can't pinpoint where, it means it's from a past life. So, yes, we're all guilty, but the more we are aware of the karma and the karmic ties and in the cycles of karma, the more we become aware of this, the more we can avoid being guilty of certain things. And some people have reached that level, the saints that have lived in ancient past. Um, they have reached that level. Even the Buddha himself, he talked about the suffering he has caused in his past lives prior to being the Buddha. He has lived many lifetimes and he has done bad things in those lifetimes. And he talks about it to his followers. And he had to pay back everything in full before he got to the level of enlightenment. He had to pay back everything. See, he said, the Buddha said, even headaches that come to you randomly sometimes, you know, you're just having a peaceful day. You're not even staring on your phone or your computer, but you're having headaches. The Buddha said that is some kind of karma that's being paid back because you did something similar in a past life or in the past. You said a bad word to someone, or you hurt someone, or you did something bad, and maybe it's not something atrocious, so it comes back to you as a headache. So even the pain that your body gives you is karma. From being injured, from having an ailment or a disease, from breaking your arm or your leg, karma. And I know for a lot of people, they're like, no, this is too much. It can't be all connected. There's gotta be some randomness in this. My answer to you is there is no randomness in this. Even a cut. See the cut? If you get a cut and you bleed and it hurts, it's karma for something you've done before. It's not randomness. And if you choose to not believe it, it's okay. I'm not imposing anything on you. I'm just telling you what is my experience and what I believe. So, what else do we have here? Yeah, Trina's right says what goes around comes around. Absolutely. For everything and anything, especially the things you do with intention. You intend to do harm, then the harm is going to come back 1,000%. Then you intend to do good, that good is going to come also back to you 1,000%. So it's all about intention. Um, let's see. Dragon Asandrak said, past life love reading. This is, my friend, this is not a reading session. Um, this is a Q&A session. So in the reading session, I ask questions using tarot. Thank you very much. Hello, hello, Princess Aki. Hello, that's Summer Witch. Thank you very much for joining us in this live. Hello, Savi Vishnu. Mopak and Westgate says, the universe, you mean God? No, I don't mean God, because there are many gods. Because if you talk to like a Hindu person, they're gonna tell you which God are you talking about, because they have thousands of gods. In Buddhism, they believe in the existence of many deities as well. So God is a Western, well, it's a Middle Eastern concept, because Abrahamic religions, they're the ones who talk about the one God. Prior to that, you have also Zoroastrianism, and you have in Egypt, Akhenaten, who also was the first pharaoh to talk about the one God. But see, these are just labels. The universe, you mean God, because yes, it is the universe, but it's this thing, it's energy, it's this life force that exists out there. It cannot be a man, it cannot be a woman, it doesn't have a shape, it doesn't have a form, it doesn't even speak. Okay? It's just this thing that's out there. It's just, it's fair. If you choose to call it God, thinking that it's a person, then no, it's not that God. If you think to, if you choose to think of it as God, as this entity or energy or source that's there that we can't even comprehend, then yeah, you can call it God. But I believe even the Abrahamic religions and all of these monotheistic religions that have existed, I believe that's what they meant when they said God. But humans, in order for them to understand something, they have to give it a uh, they have to give it a form. They have to give it a shape. And usually humans they relate to what looks like them, and that's why the depictions of God are the same as human. So they start drawing God as if it's a man, and because it's a man, because the people who ruled those eras of the when the Abrahamic religions were thriving on earth back then, more than now, but back in those times, couple thousand years ago, man was ruling. It was not the woman that was ruling earth. It was a patriarchal society. It was a patriarchal world. And that's why God was depicted as a man. It was drawn as a man because it was men who were ruling the world. But if you say God is male or female, it's a load of nonsense, because this entity, this thing, doesn't have sex. It doesn't have. You can't. You can't give it a form. You can't even name it. It doesn't have a name. So that's why I always refer to it as the universe, because it doesn't have a name. So calling it God and being certain that a lot of humans are certain that they know what it is just an ego boost. It's something that comes from the ego. It's selfish. I know my God. I know who God is. No, you don't know what God is. And but religious people, that's how they get their safety. Their safety net is in them thinking that God is a man, is a thing out there that they can relate to, because if they can't relate to it, then what is it? Then your whole system, your whole belief system comes crumbling apart. And before you felt safe, and now you don't feel safe anymore. But is the Tower card in tarot. Is when all of your belief systems they become destroyed and they crush to the floor and they don't exist anymore. And what used to give you clarity and safety doesn't exist anymore. And that's what happens to a lot of people, and that's what a lot of people label as a spiritual awakening, because all of these things that used to give you this safety net, they're not there anymore. So yeah, everyone have their own definition of God, goddess. We should start calling it goddess. It's better. So let's see. Hello, hello, Hamza. Yeah, that summer witch said yes. I'm working on non-attachment. That's beautiful. I'm working on that too. We should all work on non-attaching ourselves, working on appreciating things, not wanting them, just appreciating them. If you like a flower, you're gonna probably pick it up and take it home with you. If you love a flower, you're gonna leave it there and appreciate it. You're not gonna take it with you. And the same works for everything. I'm not being judgmental here. We all humans, we all do this. It works with pets. It works with the things we buy. We always want to have something and bring it back home. I want that thing to come with me. I want those flowers. I want those plants. I want those cats. I want those dogs. They have to be here at home with me. Otherwise, I'm not gonna feel good. Of course, it's different if you want to save someone's life. It's an amazing cause if you get a cat from a shelter or a dog. That's not what I'm talking about. But I see, with social media, humans are showing their true colors. Social media, without people realizing it. So there's a lot of people showing their pets nowadays in social media, because before you didn't know. People had pets and you didn't know what was going on. Now people are showing their pets on social media. And most people treat their pets as if they're like some sort of toys. It baffles my mind. It baffles my mind. They think it's just a toy. And as I found myself baffled while I was looking at some videos like that, I'm like, why am I baffled? I shouldn't be baffled because people treat their kids like that, let alone animals. People treat their own babies and kids like if they're some toys. This is my baby, it's my kid. I'll do whatever the heck I want with them because they're mine. And I'll teach them whatever I want. And I'm not going to let them do what they want. I'm going to give them what I want. I'm going to make them eat what I want to eat. I'm going to dress them in the same way I want them to dress. I'm going to take them to the school that I want them to go to because they're mine. Because they're mine. You see how humans are? So I'm like, no, I shouldn't be baffled. They do that with their own kids. Of course, they're going to do that with animals. Why am I baffled? I shouldn't be baffled. This is this is the human norm. So yeah, helping is good, appreciating is good, but being attached to something or someone, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Appreciate your pets. Treat them like friends. Don't treat them like toys. They're not your toys. You want to have entertainment? You want to be entertained? Go do something else. That pet is not your entertainment. Because if you cause trouble or annoyance to that pet, then we just talked about karma. Someone is going to treat you like entertainment as well. Because that annoys the pet. The pet is annoyed. It doesn't want to be someone's entertainment. It doesn't want to be someone's toy. So if you do that to them, someone else is going to treat you like a toy exactly the same way. And you go crying, come back crying, oh my, in my work people treat me bad, people don't take me seriously in my work. You hear a lot of people saying this in their 9 to 5. Have you thought how you treat your pet back home? And that's the other thing with humans, they don't connect the dots. They never connect the dots. They think that whatever is done to them has nothing to do with what they do to others. That's the problem. So always connect the dots. If something is bad in your life, if someone is treating you bad, think why. Think why. Think how are you treating others? Just keep that in your mind. Jasmine Weller asked, is all my karmic debt has been paid? Well, that's hard to know. That requires probably a reading. And I just said earlier, there are certain signs to know if your karmic debt has been paid. If your life becomes perfect, if your life feels perfect, then there's a high chance that your karmic debt has been paid. You have everything. You're happy, you're wealthy, you're healthy, there's peace around you, you're peaceful within you as well. And very few people have this, what I just mentioned. Very, very few people have that. Very few people. So if you have these kind of criteria, then it's a sign that maybe your karmic debt has been paid almost in full. Um, Carl asked, what about the future Buddha? The future Buddha, well, in Buddhism, they believe that there is a future Buddha that's going to come at a certain time because the Dharma is disappearing, it's dying. And in each tradition, they believe that there is a savior that's going to come. Abrahamic religions, they have also their own savior who's going to come and save the world from where the world is heading. Because the Buddha, after he gained enlightenment, he became, all of a sudden, he became very sad. And his followers noticed that in him. They noticed that he was really, really sad. He wasn't happy, even though he was enlightened. And when he was asked, why are you sad? He said, because after my enlightenment, I see. Because the Buddha, when he gained enlightenment, he could see through time and space. Past, present, and future become merged, they become one thing. When you become enlightened, you can see everything and time doesn't exist. So he saw what's going to happen. And he said that the Dharma is going to die. And starting from now, the Dharma is going to start going down and down and down. The Dharma is the way of life that the Buddha taught. And Abrahamic religions said this too. Like all of the prophets, they predicted that things are just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, spiritually speaking. Because a lot of people confuse this with technology. Not technologically speaking. Technologically speaking, things are becoming better and better. Spiritually speaking, things are going to get worse and worse and worse. What do I mean? I mean that spirituality is going to, are you ready for it? Disappear. See these things we're talking about right now in this channel and many other channels, in the far future, it's going to become a myth. No one is going to even remember what spirit is, or even if there is something called spirit. At least nowadays, you still have religions that believe in God, that believe in the soul, that believe in spirit, they believe in higher realms, lower realms. Even the Abrahamic religions, they believe in that. Even if the nuances are different, the details are different, but people still have a certain belief. A lot of humans know or believe that they feel that there's a force of creation out there, even though they're atheists or whatnot. But there's gonna come a time, my friends, where anything that has to do with spirit or spirituality is gonna completely disappear, and it's gonna be as mythological as the Greek mythology and the dragons and similar subjects. They're going to talk about a time where there was something called a belief in the universe or in a god, that there is something called spirits, and people are going to think of it as mythology. And we're heading there, not now, not in our era, But 100 years in the future, maybe 1,000 years in the future, that's what's going to happen. And if we don't solve our karma, we're going to keep reincarnating, and we might reincarnate in one of those eras. And let me tell you, these future eras, they're going to be way worse than now. You think this era is not good, right? Like there's a lot of bad things happening. What's coming is worse. You're going to have technology dominating the whole world, artificial intelligence becoming part of your body. This is something that we all know already. It's not something some amazing information. The cell phone is already an extension of your body. Next phase is it's going to become part of your body. It's going to become inside your body. The technology is going to become inside of you, and humanity, they're going to lose all of their spiritual side. Any spiritual nuance is going to completely disappear. So, like, being aware of karma is going to help you pay back your karmic debt. So, hopefully, if you paid in full, you don't have to reincarnate again so you can pay it back again and again and again and again. Because ascension is connected to karmic debt. The moment your karma is paid in full, you don't reincarnate on earth anymore. Okay? So I hope it helps. Hello to the people who had just arrived or who have asked questions. Thank you very much. Um, hello, hello to the people. Hello, Ina Mehmeti. Hello, Neha Gedam. Thank you. Nice topic. Thank you. I'm glad it resonates or it helps. Hello, Kim. Hema Collection. Hello for Geraldine Tibus asked, Sir, I asked that next segment is about cutting ties to karmic, financial, or people attached to the energy. Thank you. So you're what's your YouTube channels? Thank you. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're learning. That's what I do these videos for. So you want to know about karmic ties. So cutting karmic ties with finances, with people, as I explained earlier, this is something that there's no escaping. You just have to pay it in full. Any karma that you have left that needs to be paid back, like a debt, for example, like let's even take it literally, like financial debt. Let's say you have financial debt. Do you know that certain things are not going to pan out in your life unless you pay back that financial debt? So you have to pay back money to an entity or to a person, let's say, or even to a bank. It's a debt. It's not your money. You have to pay back in full. There are some things that are on hold that you can't enjoy, that you can't manifest, and the universe is making sure that you can't manifest these things until you pay back that financial debt. Not only that, financial debt is very dangerous. Being in debt financially is dangerous, and a lot of people don't talk enough about this. Debt is bad in general for your finances, for your business, for your life, but it's also spiritually very bad. Because let's say you borrow money from some person and you take a long time to pay back that money. Now you're creating bad karma with the person that's lending you the money. Now you have tension with those people. Now those people don't like you very much because you're taking time to pay them back. And they might start even wishing bad things onto you. It's bad karma for them, but still they're intending some negative energy onto you or some evil eye. So having debt, financial debt, is very bad. And that affects them as well, because now your energy is entangled. So let's say you're suffering from manifesting money or broke all the time, you borrow money from some person, that will affect that person too. It will affect them as well, because now you're using their money. So you're using part of who they are, because that money, they worked for it to manifest it. Now you took a chunk of themselves and you're using it. That money represents them. So you're using them in a weird way, yet you don't pay them back, or you take a very, very long time to pay them back. So that messes up their life as well, because not only they can't enjoy the money that they worked hard for, because now you're using it, they can't use it, but your your energy that is connected to paying back the debt, and it's just like a murky energy, and it's not positive, and you're always worried, you're always anxious, that energy transmits to them as well. So your life is being affected negatively, but you're affecting their lives negatively as well. So always focus on paying back your financial debt first before you do anything. Anything. And as I told you, the universe takes financial debt very seriously. You know, if you die and you have some financial debt left that you haven't paid, that's karma on you that you need to pay back in your next lifetime, one way or another. The universe is not going to forget that. You think you're dying, and you die, and you're like, let's say you have $100,000 that you haven't paid to someone. And you're like, okay, I'm going to die, whatever, I'm done. No, you're not done. That $100,000 that you needed to pay back to someone is going to be registered in your karmic bank account as a bad thing. So in your next life, the universe is going to put you in circumstances that are equal to having to pay back the $100,000 that you didn't pay back in your previous life. So maybe you're going to be born in poverty, and you're going to live poorly to the amount of years that equal the $100,000. You see how the universe works? Maybe it's, let's say, you're going to be born in a third world country and you're going to have to live there for 20 years in poverty. Why? Because you didn't pay back the $100,000 that you had to pay before. So financial debt is as bad as bad karma. It is bad karma. It is bad karma. So please make sure to pay back your financial debts, no matter how big they are. You have to pay them back. And a lot of people think that, oh, this is not connected, but it is connected. If you borrow it from a bank, still pay it back. If you borrow it from a person, it's even worse, because that person was just helping you. They were doing it from the goodness of their heart. And you're causing them a lot of bad things. You're creating bad karma with them. They're being affected as well. But pay back your financial debt 100%. With people, the same thing. If you have some negative karmic entanglement with someone, let's say it's your partner or sibling, brother, sister, parents, you have a negative karmic entanglement, and you always fight, you always fight, you always fight, you always have problems, it's catastrophic. To cut these ties, you need to work on yourself. There are certain elements you can do. I'm going to tell you what you can do, but I started by saying you need to work on yourself, because if you don't work on yourself to change your behavior towards them, it's never going to disappear. You're always going to fight. You're always going to have that karmic entanglement. So you have to work on yourself. But as you work on yourself, you have to take space from these people. And this can hurt, especially if it's a partner. Take space from these people. It doesn't matter who they are. They can be your partner, it could be your brother, your sister, your father, your best friend. You have to disappear from each other's face for a while. And when I say a while, I mean at least 1 year. And this actually has happened even to me. I'm speaking from, I had a similar experience happen to me. And the universe is gonna tell you how long, it's gonna guide you on how long you need to be away from them. It's not a breakup, but it's being away from that person for at least 1 year, at least. And in that 1 year, you work on yourself. You try to become your greatest version. The way you talk, the way you speak, the way you think, become more aware, the way you carry yourself. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Connect to nature. Calm, try to calm your energy and bring it down. Try to transmute the energy into something beautiful. I talk about this in a lot of my other videos. How to become your greatest version, how to reach your philosopher's stone. Do the work for at least 1 year. Talk to yourself with respect, talk to others with respect, and just condition yourself to loving and treating everyone equally based on who they are. Speaking people's languages based on who they are. You're not here to impose on others what you are. You're here to match their level and speak their language while respecting them. Do this for 1 year and then reconnect with these people. And you'll see that that karmic tie is going to completely disappear. Because the person who was creating those karmic ties is not there anymore. When you disappear for 1 year and work on yourself, you're not that person anymore. Now you're a completely different person. And by transmuting yourself into your highest version, you are cutting the karmic ties at the same time. That's for cutting the ties. Paying back the karma, you're going to have to pay it back 100%. Whatever you did to them in terms of disrespect, or you yelled at them, or you screamed at them, or you insulted them, someone is going to do to you. That you're going to have to pay back. But in order to cut the ties and not have that entanglement with them anymore, disappear, work on yourself, and come back. And you'll see that you guys are going to be so peaceful, and you're going to, it's like meeting for the first time. It's like you never known each other. They're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. You're not going to argue. You're not going to fight. You're not going to, it's going to be very smooth. And that's why I always say work on yourself, better yourself, always better yourself. Because when you better yourself, you're going to realize that the things that used to bother you when you spend some time by yourself, you realize, oh, they don't bother you anymore. You realize that not everyone has to agree with you. You realize that you don't have to impose your thoughts and ideas on everyone. You realize that everyone have their own paths and beliefs can be different, and if the other person is not on the same path or they don't believe what you believe, you learn to become in peace with that, and it's okay. It's completely fine. Even if it's very different from what you believe. You learn that if someone insults you, it has nothing to do with you. It's them. They insulted you. So you're not affected by their words or by whatever they tell you, because they said that. It's their energy. The moment you entertain that, you invite that energy into your life, and you don't want that. So when you work on yourself, you become aware of these things. You become aware of karma as well. You become aware of the concept of not wanting to create new karma with someone, bad karma. You don't want that in your soul. So when you become aware of these things, they help you shed what you're not. Who you are not is left behind. It's the death card in tarot. That's why you only see the skeleton, because that's the real you. You're your skeleton. That's just what remains before you rise from the ashes, strong, powerful, and whole again. But now you're completely different. So I hope this helps. So someone asked, what does an alchemist do? An alchemist transmutes their energy always into something better, beautiful, and wonderful. Alchemists are all about transmutation. Alchemy is the art of transmutation, and alchemists are here in the world to transmute energies. Me sharing whatever I'm sharing with you is me transmuting something into something that could be just stagnant and negative into something better. That's what alchemists do. They transmute. What else we have here? Hello to the people who just joined. Hello, DB, Nadia, Nadu, Isha, Jano. Hello to all of you. Thank you guys for joining. There's some interesting questions here. DB said, what do you think about Aleister Crowley and the Golden Dawn? Well, Aleister Crowley is he's an interesting persona, and he played a big role in the occult, in tarot. His tarot deck is actually, it's one of my favorites, and I used to use it before a lot. I don't use it as much anymore. I need to go back to it. The Thoth deck. I love that deck so much, and he had his own. That era of occultism with the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley and many others, and it's. I'm trying to explain this shortly, but because this is a whole subject on its own. It's the era where occultism was revealed to the West, or came out of the closet, if you will. And Aleister Crowley was one of the people who helped that happen. Okay? He helped that movement spreading tarot and I'm talking about the West, as in the American continent. And there were many individuals who were part of organizations, mystery schools like the Golden Dawn, associations who gathered, did some magical work. They created their own tarot, and they just researched the occult. What they did, and this is the point I want to stress on. What they did, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it the right thing to follow? Is it? I don't have the answer to that. But they did what they had to do. It was their path, and they did it. And thanks to that, we have some of that knowledge available right now. Thanks to that, we have the tarot deck that is quite popular, the Rider White and the Thoth deck. Thanks to that, we have these tarot decks that we can use and everyone can use because it is initiative knowledge that dates back to ancient Egypt. So their practices, and especially Aleister Crowley, their magical practices, were they were they real? Were they right? I mean, I personally take that with a grain of salt. I take that with a grain of salt. It's not like I believe in that stuff and I follow it, and no, I've read about it, but for me, they were individuals who served their purpose. They helped the occult become more available, more accessible, and that's wonderful. And the details I don't care much about, and that's it. But yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of details to the story of the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley, and when he was with them, and when he was not with them anymore, and so on and so forth, and other peoples who also contributed to the occult in that era. But he left a beautiful deck, which is the Thoth deck. That I can say. um, What else? Let's see. I see some people are asking some tarot questions, but I can't answer that here. Oh, interesting question from Higher Neptune Voltage 108. Do you think that does your oversoul or whatever you want to call it? I like that. Whatever you want to call it. It is true. It is true. The labels of spirituality and especially New Age, oh, like they are too much. It's like every year there's a new label for something. So oversoul, this soul, soulmate, soul twin, twin flame, soul, triple soul. The next year you're gonna hear over ultra dimensional soul. I don't know. The labels, they are just off the charts. They love coming out with new labels every year and confusing everyone. Oh no, that was your soul. Now we call it the oversoul. No, we're not gonna call it something else to confuse you more, because the more you confuse people, the more people are like, oh, it's something new. It's something different. I need to listen to this person because they're using the word oversoul. Oversoul. Wow, like, wow. Don't get tricked by labels. The same for demons, angels. They're all spirits, they're all deities. Your religion used angels and demons to confuse people, to trick people. Please be careful. Don't fall for labels. So I love that High Neptune said, or whatever you want to call it. Yes, thanks. Chooses. So the question is actually pertinent. Do you think does your soul choose the next lifetime to experience, or you don't choose? So this is a great, great question. My answer to you, Higher Neptune, is that it's all based on, as I mentioned earlier, your karma, your karmic bank account. The first thing that happens before even your soul goes anywhere, before even the higher self or your spirits or the people in charge of you do anything, they check your karmic bank account. What's in it? What's in your karmic bank account? Good things, bad things, nothing, just like zero. Based on that, your reincarnation will take place. It's not like what some, not all, but some people say in the New Age community, and they confuse you. And I keep saying it over and over, be careful. And they say, my soul chose to come here. No, your karma dictated if you should be here or not. Your karma did, not your soul. Like humans are full of ego and they always want to use their egos for everything. My soul chose to be here. I chose. Me, I. Calm down your egos. Calm down your egos, okay? Your reincarnation happens based on your karmic bank account. What's in it? Is it enough? Is it amazing karma enough for you to reincarnate as a deity in the higher realms? Sure, let's do it. You're not a human anymore, but you reincarnate as a deity, as a magical being. In the higher realms, there's no money, there's no suffering, there's no struggle, there's no problems, there's no governments. You just live for hundreds of thousands of years enjoying existence. If your karmic bank account allows that, that's where you're going to reincarnate. If your karmic bank account says otherwise, and you murdered and you killed and you tortured and you did bad things and you screw people over and you steal and so on and so forth, then that's going to dictate your reincarnation to be in the lower realms that have just suffering way more than Earth. Earth seems like heaven compared to them. Earth seems like heaven compared to these other lower realms. And you go there and you spend hundreds of thousands of years paying back that karma as well. Or if your karmic bank account says you just did good here, good there, and that's it, and it's just enough for you to come back as a human again, that's what's going to happen. And you're going to come back as a human again. Maybe in an rich family, maybe in a poor family, maybe in an average middle class family, maybe in a third world country, maybe in a first world country that's developed, maybe in a war zone. It's all about your karmic bank account. You don't choose where you reincarnate. You don't. The universe does. I talked about it earlier, that force, that energy that runs everything in existence. That force decides where you go based on your karmic bank account, not you. The moment you die, you're not in control of anything. You just wait where you're going to be taken. That's it. You die and you're like, where are they taking me? And you wait. You don't choose. And all of this other things that they tell you in New Age books, please, please take it with a grain of salt. It's just confusing you. Please. It's people that create and invent stories that have, I don't even know where that comes from. And it confuses you. It confuses you. So that's why and that's why even I'm sharing this karma with you guys, because karma is so important. Based on your karma, you're going to reincarnate where you need to reincarnate. It's based on your karma, based on your deeds. So that's what I have to say about this subject. And yes, if you're incarnated in higher realms where you can manifest from thin air, you're a deity, you're a god, you're, call it anything you want. You're an angel, you're a daimon. You can have any appearance you want. You can imagine or visualize the mansion you want to live in, and it's going to pop right there for you. You can teleport to other dimensions and visit them if you want to. Of course, if you're incarnated in those realms, then you can choose to do anything you want. But to reincarnate somewhere, you don't choose. It's your karma that dictates where you need to reincarnate based on what you have done. And for some people, they reincarnate as lost souls. For some people, they reincarnate as creatures. For some others, they reincarnate as animals. For some others, they reincarnate as insects. It depends on what you did, your deeds. They say that the people who cheat a lot, this is according to some Buddhist sutras, and you can choose to believe it or not, because it is hard to believe. They say that the people who cheat a lot on their spouses and they cause a lot of harm after their death, their soul is going to be fragmented based on the time they have cheated. So if they cheated 5 or 6 times, their soul will be fragmented 6 times. And that soul, when it's fragmented 6 times, it becomes smaller. So each of the 6 parts is going to be reincarnated as a tiny insect or a small thing, like a worm or like a flying insect or something. And when the soul gets fragmented, it's hard for it to reunite again and find its where it belongs. So be careful. Karma is scary. Like, seriously, it is very scary. Next. Hello, Kurt Krupa. Hello, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I appreciate you as well. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Joshua Bailey said definitely some complications. Absolutely, because it's you always have to think about what are your intentions. That means that you're always karma. It's beautiful because it's going to make you present in the present moment, and the present moment is the only thing that exists. So you're always in the present, making the right choices with your right intentions. You're not in the past, you're not in the future. So all of your actions are in the present moment because you're always You want to be always aware of your choices, of your actions, so you don't create negative karma. So at least you create good karma. So you're always in the here, in the now. And the now is all there is. Time is just an illusion that we sense and think it exists because of the nature of Earth, the 3D, this 3D dimension. But all there is the now. So the more you are in the now, the more you're not going to create bad karma for yourself. Sean the Cruz asks, "Is your name Seth or Seer?" No, my name is Seth with an F, S-E-F, and I am a seer actually, but it's not Seth because some people call me Seth. It's okay, but but it's actually S-E-F. Thank you for your beautiful comments. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. Seriously. Jasmine Weller asked, "What about a healer? What does that mean about karma?" If you're a healer, that's amazing. That means you heal other people. If you actually can heal, because healers, a lot of people think that they are healers and they're not. It's very so in the healing community. I just want to clarify this. Very few people who claim to be healers are healers, because it has become a trend, just like tarot, just like spirituality, being a healer, just like yoga. These are all trends that people jump on just for the sake of being trends. Just like clothes, something is fashionable and trendy, everyone goes and buy it and everyone starts wearing it. It's the same thing. So just a lot of people will say I'm a healer or I'm a tarot reader just because it's a kind of a trend. So please be careful when you go to healers. A lot of people who claim they are healers are not. Healers are actually, let me share this secret with you, real healers are rare. They are very rare. And I try not to talk about this because I don't want to break your hopes or dreams and you think you're a healer and I say this and now you're demotivated and you feel no, that's not what I'm trying to do. Keep practicing. If you think you're a healer, it's okay. Be a healer. But real healers who actually can heal are so rare. Maybe some of the healers you go to, they can give you a placebo, they can alleviate some of the pain, but real healers who actually heal, they're very rare. I was once. I'm gonna go on a tangent here. I was in Thailand. I took an was it an Uber? Yes, it was an Uber, but the application that they use there is not Uber. I forgot what it's called. Grab. I think it was Grab or Bolt, something like that. And it was 9 a.m. and I was coming back home. Sorry, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Not 9 a.m. 9 p.m. And I was coming back home, and the taxi driver, the Uber driver, he was a super friendly person. He could speak some English, and he was very friendly. And he's like, I was back then in Thailand, and he said, "What are you doing in Thailand? What brought you here?" And I'm like, "Spirituality and Buddhism." And he was shocked. He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Because a lot of people come here for partying and for drinking." I'm like, "No, I like to visit the temples. I like to learn about Buddhism, and I love the teachings of the Buddha." And he was so shocked. It's like he met the first foreigner who came for some spiritual reason. And he was happy. He started smiling and he became even more friendly, and we were talking about food and vegetarianism and the fact that I don't eat meat, and we were just talking about it, and he told me, he said that his father was a monk, and he was a monk until 40 years old, and then after 40 years old he left monkhood and he went on and became a husband to his mother. So up until 4 years old he was a monk, and he said he traveled around on foot between Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, on foot. He did it on foot. and he was a master healer. And I asked him, so how did the healing work? He said it took him decades of practice, decades, to the point that if you have a cut here, if you had a cut, like let's say you have a cut here, his father, he was a monk that had the ability to just put his palm like this. And as he passes his palm, the cut heals right away. It closes. And I told him that's fascinating. That's how did he get to that level? And he said it's decades of practice. He said it's many, many, many years of practice of meditation every day for decades and decades and decades, to the point that you can control in your energy in such a way that it can heal, but it can actually heal, not make you feel better. It can actually heal you. It can cut. um it can close the cut. If you have a cut, if you have a broken bone, it'll heal it on the spot. If you have some sort of like cancer or something in your body, it will take away those cancer cells right away, like real healing. If you have an ailment, that ailment is going to go away. So it's rare, and it requires decades of meditation and practice. And not, it's not like how everyone claim it. I'm a healer, you know. And that encounter was so interesting. And I asked him if his father was still around, and he said that his father died. He was not around because the driver was an older, he was an old man. So they do exist, but his father lived in traveling from one country to the next in the jungles, and he said he spent a lot of his time in nature, in the jungle. He said he wasn't a monk that was in the temple all the time. And I told him that I asked him, I thought that monks spend most of their times in the temple. He said no. He said his father, he rarely was in the temple. He was always in nature, in the jungle, walking, traveling, and meditating all the time. That's all he did until he reached 40 years old. And then he went on and got married and had a family. Very interesting. So, for healing, to go back, sorry, I went on a tangent, I veered off, but for healing, it is good karma if you alleviate the pain, if you alleviate the suffering, if you use your energy to help someone else feel better, become better, without tricking them. Okay, because if you trick them, that's actually bad karma. You say, oh, I'm a healer, I'm going to heal you, and then you're not healing anything. That's bad karma. So if you do it from the goodness of your heart and you actually are helping that person, that of course it's amazing, beautiful karma. That's beautiful karma. It's good karma for you. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this question. Hello, hello to the new people. Hello. Um, Thank you for your comments, for your kind comments. I appreciate it. Thank you for your questions. That Summer Witch said, yes, I feel the same way when I made channel. Uh, my channel ban, I had a lot of people suddenly, and then it seemed like all of it, but still I learned so much. Yeah, like with YouTube, you never know, right? It's kind of unpredictable, but there's definitely karmic retribution associated, not just with a YouTube channel, with anything you do in life. Some people open a business and within 1 year they become millionaires. And some people open the same business with the same qualities, even better than that other business, and for 10 years they see nothing. They struggle and they see nothing. And people wonder why. It's karma. That person within 1 year who made millions of dollars, they've had amazing karma and they're simply reaping it. They're just enjoying the good karma they did before. That's all there is to it. So don't think it's something incredible, because honestly, I struggled with this for years and years until I understood it. It used to drive me crazy. And I thought at some point that the universe was unfair. I used to think this is so unfair. But no, the universe is very fair. It's the fairest thing out there. Hi, Neptune Voltage said, "Thank you for sharing. I want to start my YouTube channel and share my experience and what I've learned. I know it's part of what I have to do, and I'm procrastinating." Well, listen, with YouTube, again, if you're called to do it, do it. Again, everyone depending on their karma, it might explode within 3 months, or it might not work after years and years of trying. Um, Try it out. Only way, one way to find out. Try it out, see how it goes for you. Honestly, good luck. If you really think that's your calling, then of course you have to do it. If something deep within you, that's following your intuition. If you think that you need to do YouTube, you need to share, then go ahead and do it. But then don't judge the results. The results are going to be based on what the universe has in store for you. It, Again, it might work and explode and right away, and it happens to some people, or it might be just stagnant for years and years. So see where your path is going to take you, but good luck with that. um, do it. If you have the calling to do it, just do it. Yeah, I'm glad it helped. Thank you very much, that Summer Witch. I'm glad that the talk helps. Let's see other more questions. There's many comments from you guys. Okay, let's see. Oh, interesting. What about mosquitoes? Very interesting question. uh, it will bite. So someone said the mosquito will bite if I don't kill it. Huh. It's the only insect that I kill. Okay. So here's the thing. You want to know my experience with mosquitoes? Um, gladly to this person who asked the question, I want to gladly announce to you that I also finally reached the level where I don't kill mosquitoes even if they bite me. I want to announce that, as if I'm proud of for that. Like, it's ridiculous, but I actually struggled with this for years and years with mosquitoes, insects in general, just any kind of insects that are sometimes, some of them are fast, some of them are scary, some of them are, and mosquitoes are fast. And so here's the thing: the natural the natural behavior that any human will do is they're going to try to smash the mosquito and kill it, right? That's natural behavior. That's what you saw society and your parents and your family do since you were young. So you're going to do it. You're going to try to kill that mosquito. But if you become aware enough to the point that you start thinking that mosquito has the right to live and it's only trying to survive, and higher Neptune voltage, that's, I see you're at that level because you're wondering about it. Because for me, that's how it started too. You start wondering. I'm like, wait a second, it's tiny, it's small, but who am I to say that it has the right to live or not? Who am I? Am I the god of that mosquito? No. Did I create that mosquito? No. Whatever created that mosquito created me, probably. We're part of the same ecosystem. The mosquito is not even aware that you're a human being. Maybe it is aware, maybe it's not. It's just trying to feed, it's just trying to eat. So here's the question. And here you have to be the bigger person. Here you have to be more aware. When the mosquito bites you, and again, a lot of people, when I explain a lot of concepts, many people start bringing exceptions. Well, there are mosquitoes who are poisonous who will kill you. There are spiders who are this and this. And this happens for any field I talk about. People start bringing exceptions. I'm not talking about exceptions. I'm not talking about poisonous mosquitoes who can kill you with one bite. I'm talking about regular mosquito case scenario that don't kill. They're just there. They just want to bite because they want to feed off your blood. That's it. No more, no less. I'm not talking about like rare special case scenarios. um, so if the mosquito wants to feed off your blood, will something happen to you other than the little bump that's going to itch? Some people are allergic. I understand that. I know. So these are not, this information is for generally speaking, okay? It's um, for the general subject, okay? Um, if the mosquito is there, for me, that's how I think of it. If it bites me once or twice or three times or four times, what's gonna happen to me? Will I suffer? Will I die? Is something gonna change in my life? The answer to all of these things is no. So why should I kill it? Why shouldn't I give it some of my blood? For why? Because I'm that selfish? Am I gonna, my life is gonna stop if the mosquito bites me? Is it gonna stop? If the mosquito bothers you with its sound and doesn't let you sleep, maybe open the window and it's gonna go out. Maybe go to another room and sleep there. There are, I, for me, when this happens, I always try to find solutions. I'm just sharing with you my experience. I'm not telling you what you're supposed to do. If you want to go kill a mosquito, it's your life. It's not my life. I'm sharing with you what I do. I open the window. I try to go to another room. I try to sometimes ignore it. I let it bite me a few times and I ignore it. If it's cold and it's the winter and I can cover my whole body, then I cover my whole body, and that way it's not going to bite me. I try to find solutions without smashing the mosquito. And I'm finally able to do so. It took me some time to get to this point, but I'm here. I'm in this point. Whereas before, I used to wake up and just kill it right away, smash it. Because, oh, it's just a mosquito, it's a tiny thing. What makes you believe that it doesn't have a life? What makes you believe that it doesn't have something that makes it move and makes it want to eat, makes it want to sleep, just like you, just like you. Just because you have a ginormous brain that's usually used for stupid things, because that's what humans use their brains for stupidity. Just because you have a ginormous brain that's used for stupidity doesn't give you the right to think that you're better than a mosquito. The mosquito has the right to live just as much as you. And yes, you smashing that mosquito just because it's gonna give you a little bump is bad karma. It's, I don't know how the universe classifies that. It's probably not. I don't know what kind of karma it is, because I don't want to say anything that I'm not, that I don't have information about. I don't know if it's really real bad karma or if it's just a small bad karma. I don't know how it counts, but it is bad karma. And that's why monks know this. And monks never kill mosquitoes. They never kill insects. Go to any Buddhist monk and ask them. And monks get bitten. But there are many monks, like, I'm not going to say all monks are saints, but the few monks who actually follow the Dharma, they don't kill insects and mosquitoes. They don't. And for insects, there's a solution. Usually, what I do is, if I want to take the insect out, I do this almost on daily basis. I take a cup and like a paper, and I block the insect in the glass cup so I can see it. And I put a piece of paper on the back, and then I just let it out. Or there are these kind of devices. It's like a small machine. It's not a machine. It's like a product that was designed. You can find it online. You can find it on Amazon, I believe. And it's an insect grabber. It's an insect holder. It allows you to grab the insect without harming it, and then relieving it outside without harming it or killing it. You can buy this kind of product as well. They do exist. And whoever invented that product, they're gonna have the best karma ever. Whoever invented that, whoever is having it available, that's good karma, because you're avoiding the killing of millions of insects by using that product. So when you're a human and you're this big, and I mean size wise, and you still have the awareness that small things have the right to exist as well, then you're on the right path. You're onto something. You're onto something. So, good question. I'm glad you asked it. Thank you for bringing it up. Yasi D Caprio asked, "Does every action has its own, has its, has its equal karmic reaction, or does karma not work equally?" No, absolutely. Every action has its equal karmic reaction. Every action, every word you say, everything you do have its karmic reaction. Everything, good or bad. And it's in the hermetic principles as well. Like the ancients, the ancient sages and masters, they knew this all across different cultures. In hermeticism, we have the law, the principle of cause and effect. It's this, it is karma. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. That's how life works. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, Lucid Expressions. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. You write really nice words, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, yes. Beautiful comment from Lucia. Lucia said, "I think we get paid back, like the karma, not only pay back in the karma, but also to learn and to become better beings and to get a better understanding to avoid, in order to avoid the mistakes in the future." Yes, yes, definitely. So, karma, the karmic retribution to get the payback is there, but it's also to learn not to do those, as you mentioned, the same mistakes. So you're paying back your karma, but you're learning at the same time. That's why in the beginning of this session, I mentioned the person who had 40 years of bad karma that they have to pay back. But in those 40 years, they can, for example, learn how to be a good person. So as they're learning, so they don't repeat the mistakes, after they finish those 40 years of paying back bad karma, after that, they can reap um, like something good in their life because they have been a good person in those 40 years, even though they were paying back bad karma. So, yes, we're here to learn. We learn so we cannot repeat the bad karmic cycles. That's how it works. And if you don't learn, you're going to keep repeating these cycles. They're going to repeat over and over and over. And that's why many people keep being stuck in the same cycles over and over. They keep reincarnating over and over and wasting many lifetimes because they don't learn. Hello. Hello, Astro Walker. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry to hear about your diagnosis. I hope you get well, you get better. But yeah, like here, it's karma is entangled with everything in our life, everything that we do, everything. Yeah, like here, someone said, I can't read your name because it's in Russian. It says, "Hi, Seth." So many people saying, especially in magic, the magic field, that there is no such thing as karma. Yeah, like some people believe that, well, if I do this ritual, that's it. My karma's gone. No, if I do this spell, my karma is gonna be finished. And no, it's the ritual. What it can help you do is it can help you align in the path of paying back the karma and paying it back faster. So the ritual can help guide you because the intention is going to be shifted there. So you're going to intend in the ritual that you want your karma to be gone, but you still have to pay it back. You still have to pay it back. The Buddha, when his village was facing annihilation from the enemy, even the Buddha with his magical powers with his enlightenment and his followers, the Buddha had followers who were really gifted and they had powers as well. Him and his followers could not save the village from annihilation because he said, the Buddha said to his followers, my villages, they committed something bad and they have to pay back that karma, and our powers cannot change anything for them. Anything. Can you imagine that? And the Buddha could teleport. He could he could like do things that seem like magic, like literally magic, what others call miracles. And yet he was not able to spare his village from the bad karma that they caused. The Shakya clan, because he's from this clan that was called Shakya. So yes, karma has to be paid back in full, no matter what you do. What else? Maria, will you ever make astrology live? I don't do astrology, Maria. I'm not an astrologist. I do, like in this channel. I don't talk much about astrology. So yeah, like it's more about occult practices, magic, alchemy, and tarot. Even though, of course, tarot and astrology are connected, but specifically just like astrology, maybe at some point I'll do a session about that. But for now, um, let's move on. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see. Someone asked here, do you think twin flames exist? Yeah, I've addressed this before in in some other videos. I addressed the subject of like twin flames and soulmates, and I've addressed it many times. And even though they exist, it's being attached to this concept itself is not good. So twin flames are supposed to be basically the other part of your soul that's so like you, that it complements you. It complements you, but it's very similar in in many ways. Like, first of all, you're gonna not realize that you guys operate in the same field of work. You guys have the same thoughts, same ideas. You even look the same, even though you're from two different races. You could be one is white and the other is black, or one is Asian and the other is white, but your features, your facial features somehow connect, and even your bodies have similar features. It's very uncanny. And with twin flames, they're supposed to, of course, elevate each other. You're gonna find certain aspects that complement each other because you're the yin to the yang and they're the yang to the yin. So whatever you don't have, they will have, and whatever they don't have, you will have. So you complement each other as a whole. So it sounds beautiful. It's a beautiful concept. But again, a lot of people get attached to this idea. And like what I mentioned about healing, a lot of people start thinking, that's my twin flame. That's what I found my twin flame. You're my twin flame. And they start fantasizing about finding their twin flame. And it becomes a whole thing that's very different. You go from trying to build something beautiful with someone uh, who's supposed to have a similar soul print to just being obsessed with someone that has nothing to do with you. So all of these concepts, I try to not encourage them. A lot of people get with their twin flames and they have the worst relationships, and it doesn't work, and they're always fighting, and it all boils down to awareness and to becoming who you are. The moment you become who you are, um, meeting your twin flame, or I call it the one, and that's why here two labels can fool you. I call it the one, just the one person for you, because for every one of us there is the one. That's it. You can call it anything you want, twin flame or soulmate or whatever, soul, I don't know what. I'm trying to find some other words, but nothing came out. There's the one, and that one person will only show up when you are ready, when you are fully ready on your own. You're aware, you worked on yourself, you know who you are. When you get to that level, the one is going to show up for you, and you will show up for them as well. And the connection is going to be smooth, easy, flawless, effortless. You're not going to fight, you're not going to argue, you're not going to disagree. You're going to complement each other, you're going to help each other, you're going to have the utmost respect for each other. The love towards each other is going to be beyond sexual love. It's not going to be sexual love, by the way. Hmm. Yeah, that's something that no one talks about, because a lot of people, they crave each other sexually, and they get together for sex and they start saying, "Oh, I found my twin flame because we had amazing sex. I found my twin flame. The sex was amazing." And they think that's what twin flameship is. So people, humans, they just skew everything. They want to take everything out of context to fit their narrative, to fit their agenda, to fit their life. So do I believe in this concept? Yes, I do. But there's the one for you. There's just the one person for you. And for the people who don't have that one, it's okay. And if you don't meet them in this lifetime, depending on your karma, because you know karma is connected to meeting your twin flame as well. And I mentioned it earlier too. If you guys have amazing karma, both of you, you're gonna meet. But if you guys have bad karma that you need to pay, each one of you, then you need to pay it back first before you meet, before you can meet, because it's a blessing to meet your real twin flame, not just someone you enjoy having sex with, your real twin flame. And you're gonna know it when it's your real twin flame. You're gonna know it right away. Because, first of all, the connection is not gonna be sexual. If you meet someone and the connection is sexual, it's not your twin flame. That's not the twin flame if it's sexual, okay? Remember that. And again, these are things I prefer not to say because, first of all, they're not important. And number two, I prefer that you focus on yourself and become who you are. That's what I prefer for you to be. But if you want some information, every now and then I'm going to give you little nuggets of information. It's okay. And with your twin flame, the connection is going to be flawless, effortless, loving, and the kind of love is going to be completely different from the love you've had in your previous relationships. It's going to be respect, and you're going to see each other as deities at the deity level. You're going to view them as if you're looking at a magical being. You don't even see them as a human. And they're going to view you the same way. If you haven't experienced such a thing, you probably have not met your twin flame yet. And again, not everyone get to meet them in one lifetime. It means you're not ready. It means you still need to work on yourself. It's okay. In a lifetime, when you're both ready, you're gonna meet. Okay? But in the time being, please focus on yourself. Please. Don't fantasize on people. Don't build ideas and personas and worlds about other people in your mind. Focus on bettering yourself. I just talked about your karmic bank account. The goal is to have an amazing karmic bank account that's full of good karma. That's what you need to focus on. But yes, I think twin flames, they do exist. They do. Um, thank you, everyone. Your um, I hope this is information is helping you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you who just came. Jasmine Weller, Miss Lady Rose, thank you. Souza, fitness model, hi. Mirage, thank you guys. I appreciate you being here. Okay, maybe let's see a couple more questions before I end this live. Okay, Nefera asked an interesting question. Okay. Um, Hi, Seth. Hello, Nefera. Thank you for joining this live. Okay, your question is: I feel I still owe money to my aunt who sadly passed away. I'm sorry for your loss. Please, could you tell me how I can pay this back? I want to honor this and clear it properly. Okay, so Nefera, this is an interesting question. That's going to depend on the kind of relationship you had with your aunt. Were you guys close? Was it a loving relationship? You guys spent a lot of time with each other? Were you like, you loved her, she loved you back? When she lent you that money, was it like, what was the feeling when she lent you the money? Was it like, here's the money and you have to give it back to me? Or was it kind of like it felt like a donation or it felt like a gift? So there's a lot of criteria that you need to consider. But nevertheless, considering that she passed away and debt is debt, what you can do, what came to me right now as I was reading your question and based on your energy, you're going to take that same amount of money that you need to give back to her. First of all, you have to make amends and do a little ritual, connect to her, and tell her how you feel about the debt and maybe whatever it is you feel, because I don't want to tell you that you need to apologize. Maybe it's not an apology, but whatever you feel towards that situation, it's unfinished, unresolved business. She lent you money, you didn't pay it back. So kind of you need to resolve it. Make a little ritual, connect to her spirit, to her energy, write down what you want to transmit to her, and she will hear you. She will. She will hear you and she will understand what you're going through. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the same amount of money that you needed to give her back and you're going to donate it to charity or to poor people or to people in need. Um, Make sure that you don't go just to a random charity and just give them the amount. Oh, here's the money. I'm done. No, you have to be involved. You have to be involved in how you pay back. For example, you see a homeless person, you buy a meal for them and you give them meal. Or you go to even animal shelters. Maybe you can buy some food for the animals in a certain shelter and give the food to them, or even go to an animal shelter and spend some time with the animals there and buy them toys or anything, something like that. So use that money to help. It could be for Earth. It's not always for helping humans. Helping humans is good, but it could be for helping the environment. Maybe plant some trees in some area that needs to where trees need to be planted. But just try to be involved in the work instead of just giving the money, because that way you're gonna gain more good karma for the money that you it's gonna be considered money paid back plus good karma. And communicate everything to your aunt. Write it down. It's like writing a letter. Write it down, and when you do the ritual, express yourself to her and tell her what's going on and how you feel about the debt that you didn't pay her back and what you're planning to do. And after that, you're going to receive signs and synchronicities about um, what you need to do and if you're doing the right thing in terms of paying back the money, or like as I have mentioned, paying it back in like helping other people, charity, donations, helping animals. Depending on the amount of money, if it's a very big amount, then you can help do a lot of things with it. If it's a small amount, do whatever you can with it. That way, you cut the ties. This because it is karmic ties, so you need to resolve them as long as you're alive. Try to resolve them so they're not something that you need to carry on to this lifetime or even the next, where maybe what's going to happen, for example, is that you're going to, if you don't pay back that karma in how I mentioned it to you, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose the same amount of money in some other way. The universe is going to make you is going to take away that same amount from you maybe 2 years later or 3 years later. I'm just giving you examples of what might happen. So that's what I have for you, and I hope it helps. And good luck. Good luck. And maybe one more question. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Thank you guys. Thank you for the beautiful comments. Hello, Lauren. Good morning from Cyprus. Hello, the beautiful island of Cyprus. And thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it. Let's see. What else? What else? Okay, let's some of you about like Lauren asked, how can you tell us about feng shui? Feng shui, how can feng shui help our life? I actually made a video about Taoism and and inner alchemy, which is basically Eastern alchemy. It's Chinese alchemy, and it comes from Taoism. And Feng Shui is connected to Taoism, and Feng Shui can help it. There's many interesting concepts that can help you in your life. There's a lot of rules, regulations, nuances that Feng Shui presents that you need to follow. Some of them can resonate with you, some of them not. It depends on the practice. It depends if you actually uh, if you're a feng shui follower 100%, or if you just like adopt some concepts from it for certain things. But it is very interesting, and there's a lot about it that you can explore. But it can help you just locate the energies and the spirits in your home and have a beautiful auric field happening around you. So when you're like feng shui like is very connected to the interior, to the place where you need to settle, to your home, and to other things as well outside of your home, but mainly for your home. So it helps you, let's say, calibrate the energy of your home and render it pure and flowy, so it flows better, so it's not stagnant, and um, it's not accumulated in corners and areas where it attracts malicious spirits and things of this nature. So yeah, like how, for example, the mirror is not supposed to face your bed because mirrors are considered portals to other worlds, and spirits can cross these portals through mirrors. So it's a bad omen, or to have a mirror in front of your bed, and it's not good. So you either remove that mirror, or when you're about to sleep, you can hide it with a towel or with a cloth just cover the mirror so the portal is closed. So that's something that feng shui can like tells you to do, for example, or using salt, for example. But then again, a lot of practices like using salt extend to other cultures as well, not only feng shui. And you're going to find overlaps between feng shui and other cultures for the practices. Like, for example, with the mirror thing, many other cultures believe the same, that mirrors are portals. But in feng shui, they will tell you that you should not have a mirror in front of your bed. It's a bad thing. So they will have certain details that they put the emphasis on, and if you follow the tradition 100%, that then you're supposed to follow all of the rules of feng shui. But yes, feng shui is very interesting and it can help you on your journey, and it's connected to Taoism, inner alchemy. I love Taoism so much, and inner alchemy. It's a beautiful practice, and it has existed way before the Western alchemy, especially in the medieval Europe. So the Chinese have way more experience when it comes to alchemy. Yes, there's here. Lucia wrote a beautiful comment about insects. She said, repel insects by adding to your body a lotion of few drops of essential oils like lemon, citronella, lemongrass, lavender. This is a solution too. It's beautiful. It's like instead of smashing that thing or just crushing it just like that, you try to find solutions. You try to find solutions, because again, it all boils down to awareness. I used to kill insects just like that, even spiders or mosquitoes or just anything. It's just, oh, because that's all I knew back then, and that's what I saw everyone doing when I was a normal person. But your awareness creeps in, and the more aware you become year after year after year, you get to these levels where you really are going to have a hard time to kill a mosquito, or you're going to have a hard time to kill like a bug that's in your home. You can. It's not that you can't kill it. You can easily kill it before you probably killed it easily. But you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna struggle and find it so hard to kill it. It comes naturally and it's spooky, it's uncanny, it's weird. It's like, what's the difference? Before I was able to kill this thing easily, and now I feel like I can't even harm it. Why? Because you have transmuted, because you have transformed, because you're not the same person anymore. When you start noticing these things about yourself, it means you have transformed. When you used to love meat and years later meat revolts you, you have transformed. That's how transformation works. The things that you used to do easily, now you can't do them anymore, and you don't associate with them anymore, and they don't make sense to you anymore. But before, you used to do them easily. That means the old you died, and the new you is what's in front of you right now. So that's how that's a sign that you're transforming actually. That your alchemical transformation is taking place. Okay? And Natalie asked, what's your favorite form of divination beside tarot? Of divination, I love so my favorite tool beside tarot is sigils, and I channel them a lot and I use them for my practice. I love sigils so much, but sigils are more, they're used for manifestation, for protection. Um, for divination, I love runes. So beside tarot, I use runes. I don't show them a lot in my videos. It's really rare. I have some very few videos where I use runes. I also use them sometime on my Patreon, and the runes are kind of they're small, so to hold them on the screen and show them to you guys is kind of I find it uncomfortable because they might drop easily, but I love runes. Runes are beautiful, and they also don't lie. They're like tarot. Runes are just as magical as tarot. So runes are beautiful. And I have actually here. You asked, Seth, how do you work with anger to transmute it? Okay, this is a question that requires a very long time. I made a video specifically about anger. So if you go just right in my channel, Seth Alchemist, and then anger, how to transmute anger or how to deal with anger, I have like a video where I explain that. But there's many things you can do to transmute anger because a lot of people struggle with that. So watch that video. But a short answer, because this question doesn't have a short answer, but but it comes with years of practice and experience, and it comes with doing a set of practices over the years. And when you do those set of practices over the years, then your anger diminishes as the years go, until the point where whatever used to trigger you doesn't trigger you anymore. Whatever used to piss you off doesn't piss you off anymore. And it just happens organically. But it's years of practice, practice, practice. And some of that practice is meditation. Years and years and years and years of daily meditation, connecting to nature, fasting, fasting, fasting. Fasting is one of the best remedies for anger. Eating a plant based diet, cutting meats from your diet. That's the short answer. But again, I have a video about it. You can check it out. But it's a beautiful question. Thank you for asking. I might actually, you know what? In the upcoming lives, I'm going to do one live session just about anger because I know a lot of people struggle with that. And I can share with you my experience with how I dealt with getting rid of my anger and my reactiveness that I used to have before. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, Lauren, my pleasure. Yeah, Feng Shui. Yeah, yeah, yes. Keep doing the practice. Yes, yeah. It's beautiful for the energy to move better. Also, because Feng Shui comes and is connected to Taoism. There's the practice for, especially for inner alchemy, for Taoism is Qigong. So if you want to learn to control your energy better, try Qigong, try Tai Chi. Yoga is supposed to help with that too. Even though yoga has completely deviated from what it was supposed to do, and the Indian people, they know this very well, and but yeah, like. Feng Shui is beautiful to understand energy, and Taoism in general as well. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna end the session, but Astral Walker asked a beautiful question, and I'm gonna end with this question. You guys today are asking amazing questions. Let me thank you for this. Thank you so much, because in many of the other lives, the questions and the comments are like just all over the place, and some there are some pertinent questions, but like most of them are just some people troll. Today, you guys ask really beautiful questions. I'm so appreciative of it. Thank you so much. I hope that every live you guys are gonna be there, and we can have something productive. Because I was leaving, but then Astro Walker, you asked a beautiful question. Um, do animals hold karma? And this is something I should have talked about in this episode, so I'm glad you brought it up. I have difficulties with this because dogs, for example, dogs are pure, unconditional loving. So if I see a dog being beaten by owner, how come it's suffering? Is it karma? Very smart. I love how, because I asked these questions over the years as well, and I had to dig deeper to find some answers. But I love how you're using your mind to kind of like figure, because see, in the spiritual path, if you don't use your mind, you're not gonna get anywhere. The key is to question everything, like what Astro Walker has asked. Yes, karma, but what about animals? Why are they suffering? And I asked myself this question so many times. I see some stray animals, they're suffering, they're getting the hardest lives you can imagine, the hardest lives. And some of them are beaten, some of them they have like ailments, some of them struggle to find food, some of them are like so scrawny that you can see that they're skeleton. Because I travel a lot, and some of the countries I travel to, they're not first world countries, and I see some animals, stray animals, that it's even hard to look at them from how, like, I can't even describe to you the things I saw. It'll make you cry if I describe it to you. And you're like, how come our animals going through this? Because the thing that will come to your mind right away is that, well, the universe is cruel, right? That's what I wondered. The universe is cruel. How come these pure, beautiful creatures that are loving, how come they're getting this? What did they do? What's can someone explain this? And I've asked these questions for years. And so in the East, in Eastern traditions, in Buddhism and Hinduism, this is what they believe. And other than this answer, like honestly, I couldn't. And I looked, and I searched, and I couldn't find anything that's kind of made sense to me more than this. Because I love animals. I'm not an animal lover as like a pet owner. I don't even have pets. Well, I have a friend. I have a cat friend. Um, I don't call him a pet, but he's my friend. And as a matter of fact, since we're talking about pets, he was hurt recently. He's a stray. He's a stray cat. He's my friend, and we spend a lot of time with each other. And he's the probably the sweetest, loving, most loving cat you'll ever meet. He's so kind. He's so sweet, and he's a stray. But he's old. He can't be domesticated. He enjoys nature because I live nearby nature, so he's runs a lot and he hunts, and I even saw him hunting sometimes a mouse like live from the nature. And um, so he can be domesticated. It's I invite him indoors. He chills sometimes with me here indoors, and he's a beautiful, beautiful cat. I love him so much. I love him so much. And uh, the tip of his ear is missing. He has a tip of his ear missing, and recently he was hurt, and I thought he has a broken leg. He couldn't walk on his paw. He couldn't walk. I thought he had a broken leg, and I had to take him to the vet, and I had to experience what it is like to take a stray animal to the vet. I'm not gonna go into the details. That requires a video alone, and it's not. This is my personal life, which I don't share in this channel. But that day when I tried to take him to the vet and ended up taking him to the vet was the worst day of for me for 2025. It was the worst day I had to go through in 2025. The worst day ever. That was the worst day. Can you imagine a stray cat with a paw that's not working and trying to take him to the vet? Okay, and he's a stray. Remember, he's a stray. So a feral, like just stray. It was the worst day, and it's not. I'm not in a area where you can call animal services. That doesn't exist where I am right now. Yes, there's no animal services. They just don't exist. There's no one to call. So yeah. So if you live in a first world country that have those services, you're please consider yourself lucky. But to go back to the animals that get hurt and get beaten and get like my friend the cat. I gave him a name, but I'm not gonna share with you guys. Maybe in another time. My friend, why does he have to go through this? He's just the sweetest, friendliest cat ever, right? And um, so in Buddhism and in the East, they say that there are 6 realms of reincarnation. 6. And this goes back to someone earlier asking about if we choose to reincarnate a certain way. And this is another proof that you don't choose. There are 6 types of reincarnations based on your karmic bank account. One is human. The plane of existence is Earth. When you're a human, you experience both suffering and pleasure, both 50-50, equally. And the Buddha said that Earth, being reincarnated as a human on Earth, is the best path for enlightenment. Because you know what suffering is, you know what pleasure is, and it's the best plane to practice, to become enlightened. It's even better than being a god or a goddess. Meaning that if you're a god or a goddess, there are less chances for you to be enlightened than if you are a human. Wrap your head around that. It's fascinating. You have more chances of becoming enlightened if you're a human being than if you are a god or a goddess. Why? Because when you're a god or a goddess, when you reincarnate as a god or a goddess, you spend hundreds of thousands of years in lavish pleasures. You don't care about anything else. It's what the Abrahamic religions call heaven. You don't care about enlightenment. You know that enlightenment, by the way, is not going to heaven. There are 2 different things. Enlightenment is not going to the higher realms. Enlightenment is beyond that. And I'll talk about this in another video. So when you go to the higher realms and you are a deity or a god or a goddess and you have magical abilities and you live a lavish life full of pleasures and you're partying all the time, the gods are busy partying all the time. Go read what the Greek pantheon did. They were partying all the time. It's because the Greek pantheon is actually not a myth, it's true. They meant it when they wrote down that the gods were partying all the time, because that's what the gods do. Because you have magical powers, you can fly, you can teleport, you can be anywhere you want, you can eat anything you want, you can manifest anything you want. There's no concept of money, there's no concept of suffering. So you just party all the time. You enjoy what was described in the Abrahamic religions as heaven. And you live like that. You don't care about enlightenment. But what these beings forget to remember is that that's going to end too. Even if it lasts 10 million years, it's going to end. And you're going to have to reincarnate again, and probably as a human. So many of you watching, you guys in some past lives, you were gods and goddesses. And that's why you probably feel that, and you even probably carry yourself as a god or a goddess. You think you're a deity. That's probably because in one of your past lives you were one in the heavens. But that ended. You lived there for millennia, for maybe hundreds of thousands of years, and that ended, and boom, you reincarnate as a human again. You didn't even focus on accumulating good karma, you were just partying all the time. But let me not veer off too much. So the planes of existence that you can reincarnate on, or the beings you can reincarnate at, are 6. There's the human, there's the animal, there is the spirits or ghosts. In Buddhism, they call them hungry spirits. These 3, they reincarnate on Earth, on the Earth plane. Humans, animals, and hungry spirits. Okay? And then you go to the higher realms. In the higher realms, you have 2 types of reincarnations you can have there. You have the Asuras and you have the Devas. The Asuras, the English translation for it, even though I don't agree with the translation, is demons. So demons and gods. So asuras are deities. They're higher than humans. They're like gods and goddesses. They have animalistic features. Some of them don't look human, but they live in the higher realms. Where they live at is much better than Earth. There is no suffering, no money, no struggle, same. But they are characterized by being very angry. They have a high temper. They're kind, they're helping as well, but they have a high temper. Think of them as gods and goddesses who have high temper. And if you go to many pantheons in many mythologies across the world, you're going to find a lot of gods who were angry. They always resolved to fights and wars because they were always angry. So that's one type of reincarnation. Think of it as an angry god, if you will, or goddess. And then there's something above that, which is the devas. The devas are gods and goddesses who don't have that anger in them. And they're higher than the asuras. So they're higher gods and they enjoy better things. They're very divine and they don't experience suffering whatsoever. And they are what some people label as these higher deities or angels or something like that. So there's two types of gods and goddesses. There's the asuras and the devas, the demons and the gods. Again, I don't agree with the translation of demons, but think of them as lower gods, higher gods. And then you have the earth plane, where you are either a human, an animal, or a spirit. And then you go to the lower realms, which are worse than earth. And in there, you can be reincarnated as a creature of hell, as other beings. So you reincarnate there and you live there as one of the beings that live in the lower realms. You're not a human, you're not a deity, you're not a god, you're not a goddess, but you can be a god of the lower realms as well. You can. Or like someone with a higher ranking, but for the lower realms. And that's why we have the story in Abrahamic religions of Lucifer and his league of demons. So you're going to find overlaps, a lot of overlaps between all the traditions and all the religions. It's just the details are not clear, but there's a lot of overlaps. So when you reincarnate as a human, you're classified as someone who has a more or less good karma. It's like you made it. This is according to Eastern traditions. When you reincarnate as a human, you made it. You have good karma, not very, very good, not kind of good, average, you're like, you just passed 60%. Let's say in university, you get 60% on an exam. That's you being a human. If you get like 65%, maybe 69%, then you're a human who's born in a rich family. You don't have to struggle with poverty. Maybe if you get a 70%, maybe then you're like good looking, you're attractive, you're healthy, so on and so forth. But if you make it as a human, you just passed. But then you have the opportunity to get enlightenment because the human realm allows you so. It has both suffering, pain, and pleasure and love. So it has both. Lower realms have only suffering, higher realms have only pleasure. Earth has both 50-50, and that's why it's called mid plane, the middle plane of existence. The Norse mythology calls it Midgard or mid earth. For those of you who know about Norse mythology, because it's in the middle, it's the middle plane of existence. Half suffering, half pleasure. You go higher, it's only pleasure. You go lower, it's only suffering. Here, you're only in the middle. That's why us humans, we experience both. That's why animals, they also experience both because they're also on earth. And spirits, they experience both too because they're also on earth, on this earth plane. So if you don't make it as a human, if you don't get the 60%, the next thing that happens is you make it as an animal. That means you've had some really, you've had more bad karma than good karma. So for those of you who ask the question, or the viewers, you're going to ask, so it means that all the animals on earth have had bad karma before, and that's why they are born as animals? The answer that I have up until now, and I'm not saying that I know everything, and don't believe everything I say, and do your own research, and never believe anything you hear, even the words I'm telling you right now. But what I have reached, and maybe I will have another answer in a later time, is yes, that all the animals on earth, the reason why they're animals is because they've had some kind of bad karma before, and they didn't make it as a human. And if they had very, very bad karma, then they get to struggle with owners that beat them, struggle as stray pets in the streets with no food, with no shelter, or struggle as jungle animals that get hunted by stronger other animals, like in the wild, where other what animals eat animals. And you wonder why the animal kingdom is so cruel. You wonder about that, right? Why it's more cruel, it's as cruel as the human realm, or even more. You get hunted all the time, and you're always running for your life, and you're looking for shelter and food all the time. It's because these souls have caused some really, really bad karma in the past. And that's why they're paying it back by being an animal. And being an animal, once I had someone ask me, but animals don't really suffer. And I showed them some videos of the stray animals and animals in the wild. And I'm like, okay, now tell me, do you think they don't struggle? Because in the West, people think animals are only pets, and the pets don't suffer, and that's it. You just have your pet and you're good. And the pets, they're always fed, they're with you, you take care of them. But that's like 2% of the animals on earth are pets. What about the rest of the animals? Very few, the percentage of pets is very few compared to the rest of animals that suffer on earth. So again, I'm not asking you to believe that this is what it is. I'm not asking you to believe that all the animals have done bad things in their past lives, and that's why they're reincarnated as animals. But it is one answer. I'm not telling you it is the answer, but it is one answer. And that's why they are born into suffering. And if an animal is lucky, they get a kind owner that takes care of them, so they don't suffer, and so they don't always look for shelter and food, and get hunted by other animals, and always on the verge of dying, always. And if you don't make it as an animal, then you make it as a spirit, as a hungry ghost, which is even worse than being an animal. It's even worse. And you struggle even more. So this is the answer I have. It's kind of it's not gonna resonate with everyone. It's based on Buddhism and Hinduism as well. And that's why some of you have heard the fact that from the East they believe that you were reincarnated as everything, as a person, as as nature, as a tree, as a plant, as a flower, as an animal, it's part of it. There is this story, this sutra where the Buddha talks about, um, well, it's not the Buddha, but it was this human soul who had an amazing life, and he wanted to know why he had such an amazing life. He was a Buddhist. He believed in karma, so he wanted to know what gained him this amazing life. He had so much money. He has mansions. He had everything he wanted. He was super wealthy, and he consulted with a seer, and the seer took him to this well in the underworld, and to show him what he did in his past life. In his past life, he was a poor man, and he built a bridge for people to pass by. So there was this river nearby where he lived. He was a poor man, and there was this river, and people were having a hard time crossing the river back and forth, back and forth. So over the years, he saw that people needed a bridge. So, out of the goodness of his heart, he built a bridge. It took him a long time because he was poor, but he built the bridge by himself. And that bridge helped so many people and made so many people happy, and less people struggled to go back and forth across the river. And that wealthy man, when he saw his past life being a poor guy who did that, he asked the seer, he's like, only building that bridge got me all of this wealth? The seer told him, yes, because you helped so many people by building that bridge. That's why in this lifetime you get to enjoy your wealth. So, so the wealthy man was like, well, I want the same in my next life. So I'm going to build so many bridges now because I have so much money. I can afford it. So he went and built so many bridges across different rivers and trying to help other people. And he asked the seer again, and he wanted to see what his next life is going to be like now that he built a lot of bridges. The seer took him to the well, and he saw an ox. He saw an animal. He saw an ox without a tail, a tailless ox. He was confused. So he asked the seer and he told him, so why do I see a tailless ox in the well? Where's my wealth and riches? I thought I was going to become a king or something. What happened? Is this an ox I'm going to own or something? The seer told him, you are the ox you're seeing, the tailless ox. That's going to be you in your next life. The guy was shocked. He freaked out. He was like, what do you mean? I built so many bridges and I helped so many people with these bridges. He told him, the seer said, you build these bridges out of greed. You built them because you were expecting to have a better life in your next life. Oppositely from your previous life, where you did it from the goodness of your heart. You had nothing. You had nothing. And from the goodness of your heart, you built a bridge. Now, you have so much money, but your greed made you expect more from your next life. And that's not how karma works. That's not how karma works. So if you don't do it from the goodness of your heart, you're going to become an animal, because the karma you think was good is actually bad. You accumulated bad karma by building those bridges because it was only for greed. And not only that, you didn't pay some people for their labor work. You didn't pay them. So the wealthy man was so frustrated and so anxious and worried, and he was freaking out more than ever. And he was like, but I didn't know. I didn't know it was, I thought just by doing things to help others, I could get a better life. The seer told him, but it has to be from a good heart, from a good intention, not from greed. And the seer told him, but you can fix this. The wealthy man said, how? He asked him, how can I fix this? He told him, by accumulating good karma again. But this time it has to come from the goodness of your heart. So the wealthy man went and started by paying all of the people he didn't pay who helped him build the bridges. So he screwed some people over by not paying them. He went and paid every single person what they owed him, everything. And he thought he fixed it. He was like, okay, now I think I fixed my karma. Let me go back to the well and see how my next life is going to be. He went back to see what's going to happen in his next life. And then he saw an ox, the same ox, but now the ox had a tail. Instead of a tailless ox, now the ox had a tail. The seer told him, you paying back the people that owed you money, all of them, the people that basically you stole their money, just granted you a tail. That's all it granted you. And the wealthy man was like, really? All of that for a tail? Are you kidding me? What is a tail gonna do? The seer told him, don't underestimate the power of the tail or the power of a limb, a part of your body. He told him a tail can give you balance when you walk. A tail can chase the mosquitoes and the flies and the insects that will try to attack you in the area, in the back area that you can't reach. He told him, don't underestimate the power just of one thing in your body. You think it's useless, you think it's not important, but it has a mission, and you paying back those people only got you your tail back. If you want to reincarnate even as a human, not a wealthy human, as a human, you have to do way beyond, and it has to come from the goodness of your heart, not from greed. So this example shows that if you really have bad karma and if you don't pay attention, you come as an animal. You reincarnate as an animal. And animals, most of them, unfortunately, most of them are bound to suffer. Most of them, unless they're lucky enough to have an owner and they adopt them as a pet and they take care of them and they give them love and they don't beat them and they feed them properly and they don't cage them, and that is rare because even when humans get pets, they a lot of them they don't take care of the pets. So yes, animals are loving, they're beautiful. I love them so much. I love the cats and dogs and any other animals, and they're full of love. They're designed in a way that they only know how to give love. They will protect themselves if they're attacked, but other than that, it's just love. That's how they're designed. But there's a high chance that the reason why they're struggling so much is because in the past life they did something really, really horrible, really horrible. And one way to pay that back is to come back as a powerless being, because animals, compared to humans, they are powerless. They're beautiful, but they are powerless. Humans can kill them easily, and they do. They do kill them. They do torture them. So does this justify why animals are tortured or beaten? No. Is this the right answer? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure. I don't know. And it's always good to say, I don't know, because you never know. And the more you know, the more you don't know. But this is the answer I have reached so far when it comes to animals um, experiencing suffering. And it goes lower and lower. So after animals that live as pets and the big animals, you have the small insects, and after the small insects you have the tiny insects that we can't see, and so on and so forth. So there are hierarchies to this, but being a human is a big deal. It's not the highest thing, because you can be reincarnated as a deity, a god, or a goddess. That's the highest level. So but still, making it as a human is a big deal. It's a big deal if you're reincarnated as a human. But I'm not gonna label it as divine, as some people say, and like, oh, it's the best thing that can happen to you. No, you're not divine. You're just a human being. Just calm down, okay? But this earth plane will give you the chance to work on yourself, because you can experience both suffering and love and pleasure equally. You can experience, it's a it's like experiencing hell and heaven at the same time together. Whereas in the lower realms, it's only hell. The higher realms, it's only heaven. Here is the balance. You experience both hell and heaven. And it's the best place to learn as well, as for a soul. That's why the Buddha said you have a higher chance to become enlightened on earth as a human than in any other realm of existence, because you learn so much in a short period of time. It's a boot camp. Being born as a human on earth is a boot camp that makes you learn fast, and so many things, so many lessons, so many experience in a short period of time, which is your reincarnation. When you're reincarnated as a deity or as a lower being, you live longer, thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, even millions of years. For some higher realms, it's millions of years. But you don't learn much. You're just either enjoying or suffering. If you're at higher realms, you're enjoying. Lower realms, you're suffering. So you're not learning anything. So that's why the earth realm is the best for learning. So don't waste it. That's why I always say don't waste your reincarnation. Please, please. You don't know if you're going to come back as a human again or not. Don't waste it. Okay? And I think I'm going to stop here because it's been a while. I hope that this helped you in any shape or form understand anything about karma, karmic ties, karmic cycles, karmic reincarnations, as humans, as spirits, as gods, as deities. I hope this helps. Thank you very much for sticking around. I know it's very long, but then again, I just have to transmit. If there's something to transmit, I have to transmit it. The knowledge is for everyone. It's not mine. It's not mine to keep. It's for everyone to know. Especially for you guys, the watchers. You're watching this because you're ready to hear it, and that's why you're watching it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. And if you can't watch this, you can rewatch it at your convenience later on this channel. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next session. Thank you so much. And if you have suggestions on subjects that you want me to address in other lives, please write it down in the comments section. Thank you very much.